Hola, amigos. Let's get it settled in here to the pilot's chair. See how this goes tonight. Let me do this and this. I'm sure there'll be plenty of action this evening, coming on the heels of last night. We shall see when the notifications start getting out there. Maybe Annette will get one. Montone, how do you like this? Hey, Rose, how you doing? Mama Bear, Beatrice. Isn't that amazing? That's an original Montone. Hi, Amy, how you doing? Anna Lee, good to see you. Oh, Kinders. Hello, Justin's mom. All right, all the wrenches are accounted for. We love that. Giselle. Rose, that's a pretty background, isn't it? That is Giclée quality, isn't it? Look at that. Oh my God. I can almost even match the mic up with it. Let's see what that does. Pretty much. So Christian, if I had 10 more minutes, I would have been able to make a little video where it would have poured over from top to bottom of the tarot back and forth. I ran out of time. I had a time sensitive video due in the morning that I just finished up. So there is that. Amy, we love Bubba. Bubba I just gave him a milk bone, so I'm sure he's going to be coming in the room at some point here. Joanne, good to see you. Hi, Erica, good to see you again. Angie, how are you? Yep, that is an original Christian Montone watercolor. Look at that. Beautiful stuff. Annette with a pendulum. Me with my Gordon's Fisherman, or that's really the man of the wheel statue of Fisherman's Memorial, and my bridge microphone. Good. Sea Cat, how you doing? Yeah, it's great stuff. Liza, Annette was right in her election predictions, it seems. Please thank her for us. My clone, yeah. Well, Dion should be here at this point. Dee Dee, how you doing? Don't make me text her already. Hi, Vicky, how you doing tonight? The Andy Taylor single, I know. I swear to God, I just listened to that like 3 or 4 times while I was finishing my video. I need to go down those rabbit holes every now and then. Colorful Foresight. Hey, Jelly Belly, good to see you. Joan of Arc, great to see you again. Joan. Erica, you missed it. Yoon showed up last night right off the bat when I was taking a Q&A. Oh, Annette, did you send the Zoom? Yes, both emails. I'm going to have to resend this link to Annette, who's coming to us from her office tonight in beautiful downtown Gloucester. So she's texting me right now. Oh, you can't see that. I got the dots happening. So hope everyone's doing all right. We all made it, right? It's the day after the elections and we're all still here. So that's a positive. Catherine, how you doing? CM, good to see you. Jessica, hello. Oh, Chrisanne, SG, nice. Jenna, Judy, good to see all the names so far. I only have one now. Okay, I see it. All right, so the psychic should be here momentarily. Oh, Sylvia M. Oh, hello, East Texas. Yeah, the results final. You guys can fill me in on what's going on with that. I mean, I was out all day. I saw stuff this morning. Obviously, there's the mail-in and overseas ballots need to be accounted for. So we're a while away, right? I think in Massachusetts, it's November 19th when the last of the overseas ballots can be accounted for. And results become official. Hi, Diane, good to see you. Now Annette needs me to resend this, folks. So thanks for your patience. Copy invite link. Let's go over here. Let's get into the email. By the way, folks, if you'd like to email me and be part of the Bridge Cape Band newsletter, which comes out first thing tomorrow morning, just hit me up at hello@bridgecapeband.com. All right, let's get Annette in here. Annette Dion7@gmail.com, or I use Annette Dion second. She told me she only has one email now, so we'll find out. I think it's the 7. All right, here's her link. You can't get this wrong, Dion. Hyperlink, send. This background does look great, Christian. Let's close this. Let's close that. Let's get over here again. Let's get into the live chat. Let's get rid of this. Man, I need a director. All right, since I went away momentarily, let's see who is back. Good point, Erica. Hi, Han, or Han, how you doing? From Chicago. We always we love our Chicago folks. Tweet Scotchy, love your name still, always. Nirajana, great to see you. NYC, home with the blue wave. Libra lady. Nayrod, yes, yes, yes. JM, Lizelle, hey, Warren Green. We are missing this psychic. She's about to pop in. We're waiting for her. I think she had to call Comcast today. And so yeah, those Knishes, Warren, actually are in the fridge. I haven't unboxed them. So we'll have to figure that out with Annette later on. But thank you for those. Metal Twister, how you doing tonight? Lisa. Let's see. It's not showing up in my iPad email, just my phone. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Well, it just resent. Barbara, how you doing? Hello, Pennsylvania. Marlene in rainy Arizona. That's impressive. All right. Cheers to that. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. We are just waiting for Annette to show up or log in somehow. It's a trial. So we will see. And then we'll get right to it. Of course, we'll recap last night and what's happened today. I'm sure she has thoughts on that. I took a bunch of questions last night in a live session. I'm sure we're going to answer plenty of live ones tonight. I want to say Annette is still talking about that 2-hour cap for the shows, but we'll see how things play out. So Kelly Mack, how you doing? Yeah, so anyway, so Christian, you all know Christian, right? Holding the wrench. This is what he did for us. Now, I wish I could show you the whole thing. I can't. Zoom kind of narrowed that down, but what work, huh? Pretty cool. Hi, Eileen, how you doing? Yeah, might as well get all the thumbs up out of the way, folks. We appreciate it. So let's see. Annette. The link is not showing up on her iPad, just on her phone. So there is that. Really? California's getting rain? Wow. Thanks, Anita. Good. Hi, Deb. How you doing? Oh, Deb's feeling low. Don't feel low, Deb. Erica, I don't know what. Warren, which Knishes did you send? Because I saved the unboxing for Annette so she could give proper credit there. Hi, Cheryl. How you doing? Corey, you expecting any weather from Nicole up your way? I think by the end of the week we were supposed to be getting something. I haven't checked. It looked rainy, windy, but not bad. It didn't look bad here. It was gorgeous for a couple of days. Then it got colder, like 20 degrees colder, but it's still nice out in the sun. So I love this time of year in New England. Let's see. There is a lot to cover, Liz. First of all, we need a psychic to show up, right? Yeah, and by the way, Christian, I mean, obviously huge appreciation for what you did with this drawing, and keep us posted on when your next book comes out, right? And if you want to feel free to drop in a link to your current book. Yeah, Christian wrote a children's book. I'd hold the copy up, but we're about to have the house torn apart. We actually find out tomorrow afternoon when that happens. So there's been some work going on here already. So we're just packed up for our temporary move. So I'll keep everyone posted on that. Tons of rain in Riverside County. Okay, cheers. I hope it's manageable. Connecticut's getting rain this weekend. True. Hey, Francie, how you doing? Yep, that's Christian's artwork. Awesome stuff. I wish I could have bought 10 more minutes today to so we'll just do that slow pan from top to bottom, back and forth, but cool. Let's see, Eileen. So Eileen, I guess. Oh, wait. Drum roll, please. Fingers crossed, folks. Almost. Getting warmer.
Oh, look at you. I don't know what's going on. I think the technology gods don't like me.
No, this is true. But look, you look and sound good now.
Let's hope it lasts.
It's through your phone?
No, the phone was last time and I would look like I was in a pencil box.
Yeah, this is much better. I like this.
Yeah, so I rebooted a few times and now it's blinking. Stop blinking! Don't blink! Can you, honestly, I just have to ask you a technology question.
I love those ones.
Why would it be that I have technology installed and it works no better than it did when I didn't have it? Maybe a little smidgen.
You're in a curious spot too, like Main Street downtown. It's always been.
I'm in a curious spot, all right.
The one thing I can tell folks is Verizon, like the local cable phone company, was actually based right next door to where Annette was for ages, but they had to move because they couldn't get their own signal in the building. Did you know that? I feel
better now. Thank you for enlightening me about that, because it's just like, I'm right in the corner and I'm surrounded by brick.
But that's why the Verizon went up to Gloucester Crossing. They couldn't get their own signal there.
That makes sense. Yeah, downtown has a lot of problems. So I might move. I mean, not just because of that, because they're going to start building behind me.
Oh, for the senior housing at the Y?
Yeah. It's bound to be noisy. So in the front, you know this building, right? In the front, there's a huge office. Maybe take that. It would be so empty. It would be like, hello.
Yeah.
But I'd be facing Main Street and it'd be bright.
Yeah. We can put up one of these, like, make a giant poster of this. We can amplify your presence there.
How did you do that?
Isn't that cool? Look at how Christian nailed your eye color. Isn't that nice? Don't you freeze on me now, Dion.
It's hard to see.
Okay, right, you're back. You're back.
I know. See, I told you.
Oh man,
if it's bad,
no.
Am I freezing?
You just did it that one time, but the audio was there and you came back in a couple of seconds, so we're good.
So yeah, I get mad and then I'm like, I'm not paying my bill till this improves, and so it could be I didn't pay my bill.
Well, so let me get a couple things off the top of it before I hand the show over to you. Okay, so one is Warren Green did send. Well, you know how we do this. Well, there's a lot to go over, right? We've had a big 24 hours here. So one is Warren Green sent knishes. I have them here. Meredith put them in the fridge. I haven't opened them. We wanted to make sure they got refrigerated. So I'll have to transfer that to you at some point. And then I kept all the paperwork so you can give the company and Warren like proper credit and all that. So there's that. I think Warren's sending another care package next week, of course.
You did mention it.
So there is that. Okay, so viewers out there's already 200 plus people in here coming in tonight.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I told them last night. I was on again last night.
I know it's that I didn't get a lot of questions last night because I think most of the viewers were watching you, understandably.
I told them to watch you.
Yeah, it was good.
Go talk to Corey.
Yeah.
Give me your questions. They're kind of flipping forth.
Yeah, so now viewers, so this is what's going to happen. So I am looking at Annette in the Zoom now, so we can work on that. I have the live chat to my right, which I'm watching, and I have other questions. If I look this way, I'm grabbing other questions here too. So I'll do my best because I think we're going to end up taking a handful, more than a handful of questions from the live chat, all right? So there is that. So Warren is telling us the condition list is cherry cheese, blueberry cheese, spinach, mixed vegetable, and sweet potato.
I got 2 of the cherry because they were out of something. I had to double up like we did with the donut. So you can have a cherry. Sneak one.
I was going to try to sneak one of the cherry ones and be like, "Oh no, Warren, double order."
No, you go. There's 2, so you can have one. You can go warm it up now in the oven.
Christian is asking that I do a quick poll to see if this show will go beyond 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. So let's ask.
I do. I must say, though, doing it this way is less exhausting the next day.
Well, yeah. I mean, the live chat to me is distracting in a fun way, but you need to like focus. It's a lot to handle. It's a lot. It's a lot for me.
It's double focus. I have to double focus.
Yeah. Yeah. And all it takes is one phrase or a weird thing or naked HD to pop in and we get derailed.
Yeah, that's wicked distracting. And then, you know, the thing is that when I'm in front of you and I can't help but look at the chat because I know people are talking. And then I'm answering a question, going into my psychic brain, and then I turn to you and I'm talking to you. And then by the end of hours, I'm just like, yeah.
All right, Annette. So, oh man. So, all right. So here's the other thing, folks. We all know the deal with Annette's internet, right? And Wi-Fi deal. So this may be happening throughout the evening now. You're still frozen, Annette. You're gonna pop back, and then I just need to know if you're on like an Xfinity hotspot or not. So, Karen, I hope you're staying positive for this show tonight.
I'll go to my phone.
All right, you're back again. You're back again now, Annette.
I know.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be an issue. Go to the phone.
I'll go to my phone.
Okay, so my assumption is Annette's leaving temporarily, and then she'll hop back in a few minutes. So
yes.
Yeah. Okay. So her volume's going in and out. So I think that's going to happen. Maria, hello. How you doing tonight? Warren, there's a question from Vicky on what a knish is. Feel free to hop in on that. Oh, and once Annette's feed went down, the numbers on this poll started to swing back towards no. We're not going to last till 10 p.m. tonight. Right now, we're trying to get to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have two. Let's just focus on the two frozen Annettes for a little bit. She looks much livelier here than she does up top. Well, I have her up on top. Oh, and now she's gone. So, so knish is a stuffed bread, Lisa? Well, anyway, folks, why don't you tell me off the top how you're feeling after the last 24 hours or so? And I'll let you know that. So the latest on my end is we find out about construction at bridge headquarters within 24 hours. So that's exciting. We're finally going to get some answers there. So that's just keeping me from nailing down a couple interviews. Linda Sabo, the change worker and hypnotherapist, here comes Annette, is working on a couple of collaborations, which could be pretty exciting for us. So that's in the works. And then I have two authors I'm going to be speaking with. One is children's author Beth Costanzo, Go Sideways, Annette. And another is Susan Wadia Els, and she wrote Busting Breast Cancer. So I'll keep everyone posted on that. And then Annette and I will have to figure out what we're doing next week. No, one rotation, Annette. It's okay.
That was one rotation.
I know.
The other one?
No, just do that half rotation again.
It's a full rotation.
Well, don't go full. Don't go full. There you go. It's got to be that.
Yeah, that's the way that you don't like it.
Well, it's not ideal, but that's not. Can you pan it down? Because you have a ton of headroom now.
Too much headroom?
Yeah, too much headroom. It's okay. We're getting there.
I'll sit back.
No, we want you closer.
Oh, okay.
We're getting there.
I know. It seems like the lens is far away.
No, you look. Honestly, you do look and sound good. You're just pillow box on either side, but it's fine.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I'm not on my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I do the same thing with my phone when I have to. I just go to 5G. So I can tell you now, since you had to leave and come back, the numbers went from 75% of people who thought we might go past 10 p.m. down to under 60%. So
because of the Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
No, it's usually at the beginning. The problems are at the beginning.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
probably just have to run over to the next room and get my charger though.
They sort of self-correct. Well, you let us know when that happens.
So
So,
talk to
well, so I
people.
guess off the top, Annette, are you going to do that now?
I can hear you.
Well, I'm relaying notes from people about how just the last 24 hours were for them. You know,
Yeah.
today's a good day. See Cat's sad and tired. I mean, it's been a pretty draining period of time here for everybody.
Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Yeah, this is still the pre-show. Technically, the first half hour, it's just getting off the tarmac.
All right, I love the background, but you're blending in.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll take this off while you
Or you
answer
can
some
just-
questions.
Yeah, it's too much. Like you're disappearing.
Yeah. So Annette, why don't you give us your initial thoughts on what's happened here in the last 24 hours?
It was what I predicted. I said a couple weeks ago, last week, I got a very clear download and it said the Democrats would do really well by the skin of their teeth. That's better. You're not blending so much. I thought Chris would take it in Florida. Now, at the risk of sounding all conspiratorial, I have no trust in the election in Florida. None. Nor do I have any trust in the election in Texas. None. Where was the other place? Somebody will tell you. When I was, when you're driving or you're doing something, mindless, washing the dishes or something, your brain goes into an alpha state. And I was driving or walking and I just got this message that the oil money in Texas is so deep and so powerful and so just locked in. It's almost like you just can't break through it. It takes many, many sledgehammers. It's the oil barons are so powerful. And Abbott didn't win. I mean, look at what a mess Ron DeSantis has made of Florida. What a mess Abbott has made of Texas. It defies logic. So Chris, I didn't get that one right. And I'm not saying that, I get everything right, or I'm not, I just want to preface this by saying, I don't have to be right. I just have a very strong feel that there are many, many, many people that didn't want Ron DeSantis to be governor. And it's more than those that did. And the same with Abbott. Oh, and Kemp is the other one. Stacey Abrams has done a lot of good despite Brian Kemp is the most racist. There's so many racist people in positions of power, but Kemp is awful. He's the worst. I actually saw a little clip of a show, kind of a right-wing show, and they went, Stacey Abrams lost and she conceded. I mean, these people are freaking morons. You probably shouldn't get me on this topic.
You think? What? For entertainment purposes only, folks, the views expressed during the Psychic and the Sidekick are not necessarily those of Bridge Cape Ann.
I think we're safe.
So we're hearing, so the states are Georgia, Texas, Florida, Ohio. Thank you, CM.
What, you're asking me about all those different states?
You mentioned the state, you were forgetting one. So Georgia, Texas, Florida.
No, I said Kemp. I said Georgia.
Yeah.
I just said it.
Yes.
Florida, Georgia, Texas. What was the other one you said?
Ohio.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's 4 states that I don't think was right. And it's not because I'm a Democrat and it's not because of any of that. It's my psychic impression. And I will stand on that any day. There was something nefarious going on in those 4 states. I'm not saying sour grapes. It's not that. I can feel it. And they were like Ron DeSantis is down in Florida, and people get sent, like a ballot to go vote, and then they got arrested. And he changed the map, the redistricting. They rigged it so that the Democrats couldn't win in those 4 states. And it makes me so furious. But now at the same time, we dodged a bullet, metaphorically speaking. And for that, I was very pleased. Because as you know, and people here know, I started an organization called Grassroots of Democracy. In January of this year, we've met twice a week, every week. We have not missed a week. And then I added the 20 on Tuesdays, which is a meditation and visualization group in which we meditated. I did a guided meditation. We visualized healing for America. We're sending light and different varieties of sending healing to America. Church of Spirituality, I always was doing a prayer for the United States. So anyway, I was very pleased because I put the work in and so many other people put the work in, and I want more people to join us. We are not done. We've only begun to fight. And the thing about this election, these midterms, is the Republicans were saying, there's going to be a red wave, and it was all over the news. I'm going to go on for a few minutes, so I hope you don't mind.
You are? Well, I can listen. If I actually walk away because of the drawing, no one's going to notice.
You can just leave. Go put the knish in the oven.
Yeah, right. No, you do your thing, Dion. This is why you're here. You do your thing.
Come back when it's done. Well, this is what I'm at. I have the Psychic News Network. So anyway, the thing was, we were all really freaked out that fascism was going to take over the United States. And that we averted. And I just want to say, it doesn't matter how many people have come to my meetings. I just was listening to a show on Midas Touch, and at the end of it, because Midas Touch on YouTube, I don't know if you've seen that YouTube channel. These guys are great. They're like unapologetically democratic, and they're really just telling the truth. So they were interviewing a guy who was calling for the Democrats to do really well. And none of the major news networks were talking that way. And I knew something was amiss because I just shut down the major news networks and I couldn't listen to them because I can tell when people are lying or exaggerating or whatever. So at the end of the interview, they said, he said it was really, he's so proud of the small groups of people that were fighting for our democracy that he met with throughout the year that so inspired him. And we didn't meet with this particular person, but it made me aware that there were so many other groups that kind of came together. My new motto is challenges create alliances. And that's what I've told to my Grassroots of Democracy group is like, through the challenge, we don't have to go all like cower and fear and everything when a challenge comes. We build alliances in the face of challenges. And that's what had to be done. And I was so glad this guy pointed it out. It's the most recent Midas Touch up there, unless they're going live tonight. They probably are. It's good. There are two sides. There's more pros than cons, right? That Doug Mastriano didn't win in Pennsylvania made my freaking day. And then just a little while ago, I heard the news that Lauren Boebert in Colorado didn't win. And I was like, yeah, who win in my office? I'm here by myself. So I was just applauding and jumping up and down because I really cannot stand that woman with a passion. Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's a different story. Where she is in Georgia is like a foreign planet. So I think we have a lot of reason to be proud. My Grassroots of Democracy meeting on Saturday, we're going to have a powwow, a virtual powwow. I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to kind of kick back. On Saturdays, we do an hour and a half of just getting to work, like going to the library and just getting to work, signing petitions and writing emails and whatever needs doing, sending postcards. But I'm so proud of the people in America that just really rallied. And yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with, I think, because I haven't been following the news all day, but I just check in different media outlets. I'm not sure what's up for grabs right now. The House and the Senate, they'll tell you in the chat. Warren will tell you. Is he here?
Oh, he's here. Yeah.
All right, Warren, tell us what's pending.
Yeah, we're up to like, yeah, we're over 340 people now in that.
Because and you know why? It's not. I know we want to think that it's just us, but it's not.
I blame these two.
Yeah, maybe that's it. People, what's starting to happen is the major news networks are failing miserably because they're not giving it to us straight. And I know that a lot of people go around thinking, so many Americans are so stupid. I should speak for myself, but I'm just kidding. But Americans are paying attention, and they're not really. We're not really into this like exaggerating and hyperventilating and just beating a subject to death with all these different opinions and then in between these long pharmaceutical drug commercials that are so ridiculous. We're done with that. So I'm continually plugging Midas Touch. Who else does the news? Milu on YouTube. He's a psychic Milu, Milou. He does the news every day at noon, every weekday. So there are a lot of devoted people, a lot of psychics on YouTube that have been, calming people down. Autumn at Black and Orange. I don't know them personally, but I really respect what they do. So in the face of all this, craziness, we really have formed alliances. We really have alliances with all my, I tell you, I don't see people in person much, but that many people in person much, but I sure have a lot of virtual friends, right?
You do.
And this only happened me going on with PNN because of Trump. So we all needed to come together, and I feel like a door has cracked open with these midterms. We felt like we were going to be shut out. We feared we were going to be shut out of democracy, and the door was opened for us to really, pave a new way. Set a new path. Okay, time for some tea.
Have some tea. So, folks, if you're just tuning in, it is the top of the hour here, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're watching The Psychic and the Sidekick. She is the Psychic, Annette Dion. I am the Sidekick, Corey from Bridge Cape Ann, coming at you live from beautiful and historic Gloucester, Massachusetts. Annette and I do this show every Wednesday evening for you all. We take your questions. I usually go on a day before and get them in from our followers, but we also will answer some in real time as well. Obviously, we're coming off the heels of a huge night last night. That story is still unfolding, so we'll try to keep you posted there. I'm sure you'll keep us posted as well. But anyway, it's good to be doing this with you, Annette, once again. When you're ready for questions, you let me know.
I'm ready. I'm just going to plug in my phone.
All right. You plug in your phone. It's great to see all of you tonight. If you're new to the channel, thanks for helping us out here. I hope you enjoy the show. Annette and I will go on anywhere from, I would say, 2 hours till tomorrow. So we don't know. We kind of go nuts sometimes, but we'll see.
Till tomorrow? Not till tomorrow.
No, but we got close one time. I know we went past 11 o'clock one night. I was like, oh boy, that was weird.
I was on 3. This is my 3rd night in a row.
Yeah, this is what we've been. I mean, the buildup has been, for a year. It's been palpable. So here we are.
Yeah, and it's a big deal. I mean, we were made for these times. This is like. This determines the trajectory of the United States, but I want people to understand we got a second chance. This is a second chance at a second chance. What I mean by that is January 6th, we got a second chance after that. We were able to keep our democracy. And these midterms were a second chance too. And so they were a referendum on a whole lot of stuff. Did you hear that somebody threw a beer at Ted Cruz?
At the game? At the Worcester?
I didn't look at the video, but I'm sure he made a big deal out of it. But an insurrection is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Rock? Do Do you even want to
I
get into a moon phase tonight?
I have this new tea and I bought it a while back and I just found it on my shelf and it's CBD tea. So we'll see how I
Oh, Jesus. You're going to be pie-eyed in half an hour.
I don't know. It doesn't really, it's not very clear about whether it's like, I'll let you know.
If you start looking like this woman in about half an hour, so I'll get
I know,
worried.
I'll let you know. It doesn't really say it's Harney and Sons Master Tea Blends, but I think it's supposed to be extra relaxing.
Mm.
The moon, well, it just feels like so much has been going on. Yesterday we had a full moon.
It was beautiful, that full moon, the lunar eclipse as well.
So intense, so intense. I was describing how it felt. It felt like having minor surgery and just coming out of it, you know, into recovery, into when you're, it like when your body resets, like rebooting, you know, it felt like a massive reboot. And I felt like I shifted energetically somewhat. I'm not sure what that even means, but I definitely felt the energy of the moon. You know, the moon magnifies whatever you're already feeling. So, and then the pull of a full-on lunar eclipse, it really has an effect on your body, just because we're mostly water, like 90% water, right? You know what the stat is on that?
Oh, what percentage of the human body is as far as water?
Yeah, it's like 90,
102%.
something like that. It's way up there.
An
Anyway,
overflowed sponge is what we are. Yeah.
I did the moon is so beautiful that I went by Good Harbor Beach and I drove by down the road one time and then someone was behind me and I wanted to lose them. So then I looped back around again. I didn't intend to go by around twice, but the second time I was like, I think I'm being guided to take a video of the moon. So I took a video of the moon and I posted it on my channel. So brilliant, so incredible. And there's this orb and it was the full moon in Taurus, in the sign of Taurus. So Taurus has to do with money and home and stability, and Scorpio that we're in the sign of Scorpio now has to do with intensity. So we have the intensity of the Scorpio, the intensity of the full moon, the intensity of the lunar eclipse, and the intensity of Taurus, which is also a fixed sign. So there's a lot of fixed energy. Like whatever was going, I mean, whatever happened, it was going to be a fixed thing. That's my very amateur, you know, astrology, stab at astrology. So to me, you know, psychically, it feels like a reset, like setting us on a stable track. But don't be fooled, because it's only going to become stable if we work at it. So I told people, Grassroots of Democracy is going to continue to meet. We might take a week off for Thanksgiving and a weekend off for Christmas, but that's going to be it. We will continue to meet. And all these groups that have popped up, these, you know, saving democracy groups, will continue to meet. It's not like, oh, we won the midterms, we can, you know, we're home free. Not at all. It's just the beginning. We have to redirect the direction this country is going in. I do feel MAGA fading away, though. I do feel MAGA fading away. And Lauren Boebert not winning is a part of that. JD Vance, we might want to look at that, because that's very suspicious to me. That he didn't win. I see nefariousness. I also know that Russia was still talking about interfering in the elections. So you might want to look at that. What do you got for questions?
So a ton of people have asked. Gloria, Roberta, Warren, will Trump be indicted? That's been the number one question.
Next week.
Oh. By the way, it took us 39 minutes to get to the questions tonight. So that's good for us.
Just fly through them. What do we call that? A lightning round? I really have, and I'll check the pendulum and everything, but I really have a strong sense that this wasn't the determining factor but the preference was for the DOJ in general to not do it before the midterms. They're ready. It's just the timing has got to be just right. But Trump's not going to announce that he's running for president. That's almost a ridiculous thing. He's just been defeated. How many? I mean, Mehmet Oz, you know, he was like, that was Trump's idea, I think. I'm so grateful that Mastriano didn't get in, because of everybody, that one scared me the most. He seems like a murderous human being. Anyway, so I mean, he was at the insurrection. He's very violent. He's an anti-Semite. I can't even believe he was running. I can't even believe people voted for him. But Josh Shapiro won by a pretty big margin in Pennsylvania. But what we're seeing is the beginning of the end of MAGA, the beginning of the end.
So what ends first, Annette? MAGA or COVID, January 2024?
Oh, MAGA is going to fade out. Feel COVID coming back. So I guess I have to get used to this. Nobody being around me. Have you been out to a club or anything? Like, I mean, I know everyone was just kind of doing that.
To a club? Yeah, I've been to like St. Peter's Club. I was there. I had a funerals and wakes last week. I've done a lot of video shoots, so I've been out all over the place lately.
And my guide said, "Don't be with Corey in person."
It happens.
Like, okay, what's up with that? He's around too many people too much of the time. It's a good thing that you are.
Yeah, but this is why you're in the office and I'm here tonight.
Yeah, that's mainly it.
Yeah, that's probably the safest move.
Yeah, I am. It's better to be safe than sick.
Yeah. So Annette, can you scooch closer to the camera at all? It's like we have the Lily Tomlin things happening again.
Here, I know. Here's the thing. My chair, I could change chairs. It's
Well, I know you like to sink in your seat.
Further. It doesn't go any further. Let me see.
Can you move the phone or anything closer?
You want me right
here? Yeah, we honestly. Yeah.
Okay, hi Corey, how's it going?
Oh my God, it's like 3D Jaws.
I'll just do this. I look kind of like the picture.
Yeah. Cool. All right, you ready for another question?
Okay, I don't know why it looks so far away. It doesn't make any sense to me. Go ahead.
I'm just relay what the people are telling me.
They want to see me. I'm flattered.
Yeah, of course. But the audio was good.
Did you see my America collage?
I see. Yeah, I see a bit of that. Yeah.
I was doing a show on Friday night. I did Friday Night Live, and I pulled a little card that I have these little new cards. I'll show you my new cards tonight. I feel like this thing is right on top of me. And I pulled a little card and it said something about making a collage. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea, like a vision board. And I happen to have a pile of magazines because, back before the pandemic, I had an in-person workshop. So I had an in-person vision board workshop. And a bunch of people brought a bunch of magazines and they've been just sitting in the corner, right? So I get this message, oh, make a collage. And I thought, oh, I should make a collage about America. So I go to the pile of magazines and I'm just, thumbing through and I find a National Geographic from 2015. I don't know who brought it. I had never seen it before. And on the cover was Abe Lincoln.
Really?
There he is. Honest
Is it Abe Lincoln or Daniel Day-Lewis?
It looks a little like both, but that's definitely Abe.
Yeah.
And I thought that was such amazing confirmation that my guides wanted me to make a collage about America. So it says, emerge fortified, which looks like it's coming out of a blue wave. And then it says, in a wave, voting rights are human rights. Choose kindness, win, innovation, a new era, standing the test of time, peace of mind, all this good stuff. And then I mentioned it to my niece and she said, I'm going to make one of those too. And then somebody sent me that they made one too. They had a little altar. So everybody make a little altar for America or a vision board or something. But that was just, just so like random that I had a National Geographic from 2015 with Abe Lincoln on the cover.
Why don't you cover Neil Diamond's America?
That's a great song.
Why don't you give that a shot?
I know you say cover it, like cover it where?
Well, you can do that. You do your music shows every now and then.
Yeah, well, you know what happened at the end of my video last night was that people started writing in the chat. Oh, Annette, sing God Bless America. Oh, you sing God Bless America. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to sing. And then they just kept bugging me, so I did. I did. I broke into like this, what is it, Kate Smith? The whole thing, well, one verse, and I was having visions of St. Peter's Fiesta when we put the statue away at the end of the night and everybody sings God Bless America.
Yeah.
It's very sentimental.
It is. Ready
Anyway,
for another question? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here's one from Nirajana. Nirajana's with us all the time. How you doing, hon? And she asks, please ask Annette, how long will it take to count all the votes? Will it actually take more than 2 weeks?
Well, Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker, I cannot believe they're tied. Have you been checking out Herschel Walker at all? I mean, you know,
Yeah, he's like a lunatic.
He's
What a
so,
puppet.
he doesn't even make sense when he speaks. And Raphael Warnock is an orator. There's something very fishy going on there. So the question is how long it will take for everything to be in?
Yes. So we know that I know this and that. So at least in Massachusetts, overseas mail-in ballots can be accepted through Saturday, November 19th. Before all election results are accredited.
What about in Georgia?
I don't know. Can someone help us out with that?
Because they're having a runoff because it's too close to call, it's wrong. It's skewed. But anyway, let's just be grateful that the Democrats are winning, are winning a lot. Yeah, that's not until December 6th that gets decided in Georgia. So a lot of them are in, right? I don't know the numbers, but a lot of them are all counted up and declared.
True. But right now, here's where the shenanigans come in, right?
Oh yeah, I totally called that, and not that it took a psychic, but my feeling about what the Republicans are going to do. Because I even remember Carrie Lake and pulling a card about what was going to happen with that race and how she was going to behave or not behave. And I got the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords indicated that the ruckus that Carrie Lake is going to cause is going to break our hearts.
Annette Dion. Ring
Am
the
I
bell.
frozen again?
Ring the bell.
You scared me. I thought I was frozen again.
It's Yoon. Yoon is with us
If
tonight.
I was there, I would have been able to tell that it was you.
And old guy just joined us.
Oh, hi, old guy.
Yeah. Do you know that the old guy sent me a picture of him a couple weeks ago?
He wasn't
I've
that
seen the
old.
real old guy.
I told you he wasn't old.
He's real. Yeah, he's a real thing.
Of course, you do wonder.
Yeah, it's YouTube world. You never know what's going on out there. Yeah, but he is real.
There was a bot. In fact, somebody was there was a bot on my channel last night, and I don't know if it was an actual bot, but it's funny because I can sense it. You know what I mean? Like when we have a bot, when we have a troll, and so you can kind of sense it. There's some kind of, you're a little psychic now, right? Because rubbed off on you. You can feel it. It's like that feels like a troll.
Yeah, there's always just like one chromosome missing.
You can sense it.
Yeah, something's a little off. Yeah.
Sometimes they reach out to you and they're like, "Oh, I want to get together." I'm like, "You're a bot."
I'm surprised how they go out of their way to they'll start with one handle, they'll come back with another handle, they'll come back with another handle. I was like, geez, you put all this work into trolling?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. That happened last week with us, I think.
So the question was, when will all the votes be counted? I feel like by December, because you know, I have to go to, like, they're not going to call that till December 6th. So for all the votes to be counted, it's not going to be till December 6th.
Mm.
I mean,
Alright.
I don't know if the question can be more specific than that.
No, that was okay. Ready for the next one? Okay, it's a
Yep.
handful of questions, so we can sort of walk our way through this. This is from Caneto 33. Hi, Corey. What contributed to Stacey Abrams' loss? Were ballots rejected, or racism, or misogyny? What do you feel?
All of the above. It makes me just seethe with rage when I think about what Brian Kemp has done to Stacey Abrams, and especially when I saw those people going, "Oh, she conceded, huh? Go away." Brian Kemp has taken away healthcare. I mean, these governors are so bad. Hospitals are closing in Georgia and in Texas. It's just like the cruelty is the point. So what happened was gerrymandering, redistricting, voter restriction, kicking people off the can you imagine? It's never happened to me. There was one time that, just a quick story, when I was in Nashville, and it was in 2000, and I went to vote, and my name wasn't on the roster for some reason. I'm sure it was my error. And there was a little old African-American man who lived on my street, and he was there, and I just remember him being so concerned and just really going out of his way to make sure that I was able to vote and to do what he could. I think I ended up not voting. But anyway, that was the only time I experienced getting to the polls and just like, oh, I'm not on the list. And this is happening to a lot of people, to the tune of, in Florida, Ron DeSantis people were being sent ballots, or, you know, like, and some kind of a communication that, you know, you can vote. And then when they went to vote, they got arrested. Racism played a role here, of course. So that's what we're up against. We're in this time where white supremacy is staring us all in the face. It's nothing short of a miracle that as many Democrats won as have won. And it sounds like that person wants to know which of, like, is it all of the above, or is it one, or it's all of the above. It's a combination.
Gotcha.
And when I see people like standing in these huge lines, it's freaking 2022. Why are we having to stand in huge, I mean, just as Americans, it took me like 5 minutes, but so many Americans have to stand in line all day, and they're not supposed to, in certain states, they're not allowed to give someone a bottle of water. Hopefully they can sit on a chair. What the hell is that?
Yeah, that stuff's been pissing me off for years. That's
not
ridiculous.
democracy. Well, it's really bad now. I don't remember there being a law against giving somebody a drink of water. And let's face it, a lot of states are pretty much hot all the time.
But everywhere where I've ever voted, there's always the Girl Scouts or a school club having a bake sale. That's at every polling station I've ever been at.
We're in a sapphire blue state.
Mm.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Plus, I heard, I haven't really checked all the races in Massachusetts, but I heard that it's women across the board. And the governor is a gay woman, Maura Healey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you even met her before?
I haven't met her before. I'm sure you have.
Yeah, I have. She's nice.
Yeah, she's been around, and isn't she Kim Driscoll?
Yep.
The Salem mayor?
Mm-hmm.
Her running mate, kind of. Yeah, I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud that we're so accepting. And it all started in Massachusetts, so I hope the rest of the country, you know, follows suit. And I do see that happening. We just got to get past this white supremacy stuff. It's got to go, and the misogyny. It's got to go.
All right, moving on. How is Beto O'Rourke feeling?
Like he was cheated.
Was
Because
it, how tight was it? Was it super tight, folks?
I don't know, because I stopped watching the mainstream news. I
Do you
think I
ever
might
watch
have
TBS?
not so much. I mean, I can't. I can't lie. It's not like I didn't check Morning Joe this morning when I got up, but I didn't stay on too long. I just wanted to see where everything was. I picked up my pendulum to ask a question. What was it? Oh,
How is
Beto.
Beto O'Rourke feeling? Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not a question for a psychic. That's like,
Well, I do have
you think he's feeling?
I have a follow-up to that. How about this one, Annette? Will Beto possibly become Speaker of the House since you don't need to be an elected seat to be Speaker?
No, that's kind of out of the blue. I don't think he's expressed a desire to, unless I missed something.
I don't know, but that's a decent question. Inquisitive.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why somebody would ask if he's going to be Speaker of the House, because I don't think I haven't heard him say he was wanting that. I feel like my phone is right in my face.
It's honestly, it's not a net. It's a safe distance. I look much closer to the screen than you appear.
I know you do. That's true.
Yeah, a lot of people are watching us on phones or small devices too. So
a lot of people watch us on TV.
Yeah, with the plus 200s, the Mr. Magoo glasses.
They have to wear those?
I'm just throwing that out there.
No, with the TV. If they watch it, because you can watch YouTube on your TV, which I don't know. I don't own a TV.
Yeah, if you have a smart TV or Fire Stick or something like that. But a lot of people are just doing the phone or the iPad thing.
Why have a smart TV when you can have a dumb TV?
Yeah, smart TVs, they're not that smart. Not yet. It needs another 5-10 years or so. Okay, how about this one, Annette, from Lady Levy? How do we stay calm and maintain our composure during this trying election time, especially feeling the energy of the masses?
Is that a question from last time?
I got this last night.
Does that person know I have a meditation once a week?
Yeah, lady, she's with us a lot.
Yeah, but it's a Zoom invite thing. Okay. It's quite simple. There's several things. Do not watch the news. You can be in a really good mood, and then if you turn on MSNBC or CNN, it's just like your whole day falls apart. Because they will prey on your worst fears. It's getting bad. And I'm not saying they're fascist, but I just want to say one of the things that fascism starts with is inciting fear. So being afraid of everything is the fastest, most effective way to make people scared. What happens when you're scared?
Usually clam up.
Yeah, you feel weaker, right? If you're completely frightened, you feel weaker. So the fear mongering is happening subliminally, and it's not intentional in all areas. It's not intentional in all areas. It's just what they do to keep people on the edge of their seat. Don't get your news from mainstream news media, because they make you frightened on purpose. Case in point, I talked about the commercials, right? And I've mentioned this before. You can feel perfectly healthy, and if you watch TV all the time and you see all those commercials for pharmaceuticals, we know the power of repetition. So if you hear something enough times, how many times have we heard the words voter fraud since Trump came along, saying it's pounded into our head as if it's a thing?
Yeah, it's rigged.
as if it's a thing. And it never was a thing until they kept repeating it over and over. And now the Republicans are doing that. But anyway, I don't want to get all conspiracy. So don't expose yourself to news and programs that stress you out. Absolutely every day, exercise. I read a statistic this week, I don't know if it's true, that about 90% of Americans don't go outdoors. Do you believe that? I don't know. I think that sounded wrong.
No, 90%? God, no.
They spend, well, it's like spend most of their time, indoors and don't go outdoors. I'll have to look up the article. Anyway, you have to exercise. You exercise, right?
Yeah, I move all over the place from restaurant to restaurant, bar to bar.
That's not exercise.
Kitchen to the bathroom. That's a good.
No, exercise is when you are consciously, I'm working my body. I'm getting my body moving, because that releases natural stress reducing hormones in the brain. It does. It's feel good hormones. Your body is a natural pharmacy. So don't watch TV. Make sure you exercise. Absolutely make sure that you eat healthy, vital, vibrant foods. Learn how to cook if you don't know how. Get some good knives. We've been over this before. Read positive stuff. Last night, during my video my live, I was just giving suggestions. Watch my video from last night, because people want to know how to calm down. So I was giving suggestions, and then I went, you know what I've been doing? I've been watching reruns of Cheers. I've been watching reruns of Cheers. I don't know. I just started watching reruns of Cheers. It's on Hulu. And then people start writing in the chat, Norm! And then
we have our norms. We have our norms on our channels.
Yeah. And then from there, I was like, okay, well, what other sitcoms do you like? To just give people suggestions of how to lighten up. And they went through this litany. They just kept throwing them at me. All these sitcoms, and to the point where people were going like, Mr. Ed, and I'm going, Mr. Ed? Wasn't that in black and white?
Yeah, they don't really even do sitcoms much anymore.
That's a problem. I mean, look at the difference, right? Years ago, you turn on the TV for entertainment, right? Not to stress out. So watch comedy. And don't hang out with negative people.
Does this count, Annette, as a comedy?
Kind of. It depends. You'll have to ask the people that.
Yeah, that might be our next
You have
question.
to have a sense of humor. You've got to have a sense of humor. Think of the people in the public that don't have a sense of humor. Think of Donald Trump. He doesn't have a sense of humor. Look at Ted Cruz. Do you think he has a sense of humor?
No.
Do you think Greg Abbott has a sense of humor? Do you think Ron DeSantis has a sense of humor? All these people that are like this lust for power, they're not happy people.
Yeah, politicians are a weird lot.
I know, but you look at somebody like Al Franken, and I know he's not in public office now because he did something so ridiculously not that big of a deal. He was just goofing around, and he got dismissed, or he had the.
He never should have threw in the hat. Threw in the
towel. No, but he was.
He never should have done that.
He thought he was, being decent. So anyway, there's a politician. He's got a pretty good podcast. It's on YouTube, too. There are people in positions of leadership. We were talking about Beto. It's like he seems like he has a sense of humor, right? Bernie Sanders, yeah, I'm sure he's got a great sense of humor. Think about it. You don't have to be miserable. Was that enough tips? That was like 8 tips, I think.
8 tips. That's a good one. So, folks, we're after the past the 1 hour mark of the Psychic and the Sidekick. She's Annette Dion. You can get readings with Annette. Just hit her up at Annette Dion 7. Annette Dion 7.
Well, let me change that, because you can always email me at Annette Dion 7. But you can go to my website now, psychicannetteDion.com.
Oh, all right. There we go.
I have a newish assistant, and she's done a phenomenal job. Pretty much everything that I'm doing is on my website, and you can sign up for it there, including donating to me.
Now, Annette,
So inclined.
your new assistant is he a follower of yours?
Yeah.
Did someone predict that a while back?
I told you were a little psychic.
Folks, give it up.
You didn't know. You suggested it, didn't you? All right,
Yeah,
we'll
I
give you
did.
that.
I did suggest it. Yeah, it came to me months ago. It just makes the most sense.
So thank you. Thank you for that psychic impression there, Corey. That was pretty good. You get a little bell. It did work out. It was her name is Terry, and she comes to our Grassroots of Democracy group. And
Pat
she
this
was
guy on the back.
good job. And she was just so efficient. Finally, I was like, hey, can you help me out? And everything's up there. You can book a reading. You can, I have a pendulum class coming up that I really need to get the word out on November 19th. Can sign up for it there. I've got several classes that will post this week, including for the new year. Like I have spiritual boot camp coming up, and for the new year, starting in January, that'll post in the next, probably tomorrow. I just need to write the text for it. And an accountability club. You know what that is?
No, what's that?
We'd meet once a month, $75 a month, because you have to kind of put your money where your mouth is. We'll have a 2-hour meeting once a month. You have to, the accountability club is about doing what you said you would do. Because most people don't, because if you have to be only accountable to you, it's easy to let yourself off the hook. Right?
True.
Why people have personal trainers and life coaches. Like, so there's going to be that, and there'll be, I'm going to make my Tarot with the Castle class available to purchase on my website. It's 16 hours of class to learn how to read the tarot. All kinds of good stuff coming up. We'll be jamming in 2023.
Do you want to introduce us to your deck tonight?
Yes, well, I have. I mean, a lot of people that are on watching have seen my deck. I went to Marshall's on Friday, and they had some tarot decks, which is kind of strange. You know, Marshall's gets just the overstock of things. So it's Tarot of the Divine. And let's use them.
All right. I got
You'll
a
like
question.
they're nice and bright. They're not as sexy as the Cosmic Tarot, but just shaking it up a little.
And the next question, Annette, comes from Metal Twister, who just reiterated the question in the live chat. With Musk and Zuckerberg laying off half the staff at Twitter and Facebook, there have been tons of layoffs there. Will this affect the economy?
I didn't hear about Facebook.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Within the past week, I believe.
Facebook laid off as many people as Elon did?
What was it? Someone just said 1,100 at Facebook?
Well, Elon fired about 7,000.
Yeah, was he starting to bring some of those folks back? I don't know.
I heard that one of them was 8 months pregnant.
Well, what was she doing? I mean, she wasn't mopping floors. What was she doing? You know,
she's having a baby. She needs her job.
She could have been a big time exec rolling in that Twitter dough for the last handful of years too.
When a woman's 8 months pregnant, you don't fire her.
Well, across the board? What if she does something fireable?
Why would you? Well, she didn't do anything. Did those people do fireable things?
I don't know. But usually when someone new comes in, they're, you know, they want to bring in
They
their own
fire
people,
7,000 people.
or they downsize. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Facebook's 1,100 at Facebook, right? If somebody's saying 11,000,
what's the the 1,100 doesn't sound right.
11,000.
So what's the actual question?
Will it affect the economy? With this huge number of layoffs at these big social media giants? Will that affect the economy?
I'm not making the connection. Can
I don't know
you,
if they mean a large number of layoffs, because that's in the scheme of things,
maybe it's the CBD, I don't know.
a drop in the bucket, right?
Well, it will affect their economy.
I wonder if it'll affect the platforms.
I'm just trying to figure out how that would be. It seems like two different topics.
Mm,
Because this isn't like they're not all in the United States.
right. Yeah, I don't know what the hell Twitter's going to look like a year from now.
It's gonna fall apart. Gosh, it's so obvious. Is it me? You know that I told you that I don't see Elon Musk at the helm. He's not going to be at the helm. He's done the
spotlight.
He's done the stupidest thing that he could do. From what I heard, Twitter's not a big money maker. Just isn't.
They never have
doesn't-
been.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of money. Whenever we read on it, it was on again, off again with whether he was going to purchase it. And then he went and he just wanted to be, big man on campus, which is why he made all that hoopla around it. And then, I mean, he's not like Trump, but in one way he is, in that he just likes to stir the pot, and cause a little ruckus. And so that's part of the reason that he did it, but he never looked at the details. I always said after he decided to purchase it, he walked away and had that, sinking feeling in his stomach. I don't know how long it lasted, but like he'd made a big boo-boo. And he did. So then he went and he fired all those people, and those people know how to run Twitter. So he doesn't have any expertise in that area. It's like Trump's Truth Social, right? Devin Nunes, who was like a dairy farmer, becomes CEO of Truth Social, which I don't know what's happening with that ridiculousness. Trump takes words that I used to like and he ruins them. Truth is a very important sacred word. Anyway, so he ruined Twitter, and he doesn't have the people that have the expertise working for Twitter. So I see it shrinking and just becoming very I don't think you'll hear about it much, not like you do now. I mean, Trump made Twitter what it was, and we do remember that when Trump started communicating through Twitter, we were all like, what is that? He's the president of the United States. He normalized it. He really cheapened so many things. Hi, Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba decided to make it. He wants a SNACK. So.
What are you having for supper?
What did he have?
What are you having?
I haven't had supper yet. I did.
Oh dear, that's bad. Go put a knish in the oven.
No, we're saving those for you. No, I was at Magnolia Cafe, the new place on Lexington Avenue. It was good. It was good. So I actually have a cup of chowder from them in the fridge for me.
Are they friendly over there?
Yeah, it's the Gumbatis people.
Oh, there's another one that I'm thinking of, the whale one.
Yeah, the happy humpback.
Yeah.
They're nice too. He used to be a ton of. Yeah.
What's the Gumbatis restaurant called?
Magnolia Cafe.
I got the two mixed up.
Yeah. Annette and I used to do this show side by side live pre-COVID at a little diner.
A little
in downtown Gloucester.
Little place. Wait, a little place. How are they doing? Good?
Yeah, they just started a couple of weeks ago.
I have to go over there.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice and easy. So ready for another one, Dion?
They just built these condos on the corner there, and it's like it's like buying an apartment for $700,000.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, 'cause I'm just thinking about their business and how they'll do there, and then I'm thinking, well, if somebody can buy an apartment for $700,000 in little old Magnolia, I guess they'll be okay.
Good luck. Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't get why you'd pay that much for like an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Annette, are Republicans going to carry the House?
I didn't want that question.
You don't want it?
I didn't want that question.
All right, I'll dispel it. How about that? I got one for you. Yellow
I'll ponder it. Go ahead.
Yellow Table Tales is asking, what do you want for Christmas?
Didn't we go over this last time? I don't get presents for Christmas.
What you can explain? What do you want for Christmas, you brat?
We talked about it on the show.
I know. But
I forgot why we were talking about Christmas. Because somebody asked. Don't get me wrong. I love your questions. I'm just messing with you. Somebody said, "Are we going to have a good Christmas?" Who was that? What are you doing?
the good doctor who was sick and flat on her back has handed me a carrot to feed Bubba when he comes back from being outside, if people want to see that.
It looks like you're putting your hand through my head. Is that Bubba's snack?
Yeah, that's a snack.
Where is he?
He's outside. Chasing rabbits, probably, into the marsh.
Yes. Yeah, coyotes. Where were we? Oh,
Christmas. What do you want for Christmas?
The CBDT is kicking in.
Jesus.
No, I really don't know. Maybe somebody knows about this because I just bought it like it was tea, and then I saw CBD, and I'm like, I don't know what's up with that.
Oh.
I am into the winter solstice, and I enjoy winter solstice. I enjoy celebrating the winter solstice, with the Yule and all that, and the holly and all that, and all that greens. And I haven't done Christmas like in terms of giving gifts for as long as I can remember. My family, we don't do gifts. I don't buy gifts, and I don't receive gifts.
It sounds like a fun time.
It doesn't mean it. That part doesn't mean anything to me.
What do you want for solstice? Doesn't have to be material.
Oh, all right. Well, it sounded like they wanted to know what I wanted like for a present.
No, I don't. It wasn't that specific. Just what do you want for Christmas?
World peace.
What do you want for solstice? No, you don't want world peace.
World peace. I don't want world peace. What do you mean I don't want world peace?
I mean,
Of course I want world peace.
That's an impossibility.
Well, more world peace.
I
want MAGA to go away.
All right, here we go.
Can I ask Santa for that? Dear Santa, can you make MAGA go away?
Santa, Hanukkah, Harry, you can ask anybody
you want.
It's
really bothering me. I love that Adam Sandler, the Hanukkah song.
Oh yeah, it's a great one.
It's pretty good, actually. Being a songwriter and all, I think it's a pretty good song. Anyway, what do you want for Christmas since we're on the topic?
Well, I was gonna say world peace. You stole that one, so.
Oh, but you said it was not.
You're taking all the Knishes, so that's
you said it was not attainable, so I don't know why you would want it.
I don't know what I want for Christmas. I've never been into the material part of it either, honestly. But I do love Christmas time. You know what I like about it, Annette, is everyone just seems friendlier for a few weeks, and I like that.
Really? Even when they're shopping around frantic and cutting you off in traffic?
I'm not around that. I'm not,
Oh, that's good. That's good. I got disillusioned. When I lived in Nashville, I got really disillusioned one day when I think this is where my disillusionment really hit me really hard. It was there was a man, and he was behind this elderly couple, and they were pulling into a parking spot. And it was right around like few days before Christmas. This car full of elderly people pulled into a parking spot. And this guy, he must have been 40-ish, jumped out of his car in an absolute rage and went to the driver's side and started just screaming, just yelling at this guy, just raging at this elderly man who had taken his parking spot. And I think that was kind of a turning point for me. And that was a long time ago. That was in the mid-90s. I was like, this is crazy. And then, when there were things like the Cabbage Patch dolls. And I know we've just seen a lot. It's like when people just go bananas, it's like, oh, if you won't pay $5,000 for these rare Cabbage Patch dolls, it means you don't love your children. I mean, that's insane. What people put themselves through just because of something that we have always done just doesn't make any sense. But I do like A Christmas Carol. That's my favorite.
Is it?
Look, it's about Christmas is not about money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. The different versions. I love Scrooged with Bill Murray. That's a great
It's a
one.
Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah, we talked about that last year.
Yeah.
We've been doing this a long time because I think we've talked about this 3 seasons in a row.
Some would say too long.
Some would say that. Some would say our shows are too long.
I know. You say that.
They can be.
Not our followers. Actually, it's pretty funny. We know when especially the people with the wrenches, but when half the live chat just starts saying community card, we know it's time to wrap up.
Right.
Oh, all right, Annette. So
I talked about the eclipse. I was just thinking about today. The moon is in Gemini.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a very chatty sign, right? Isn't it? Yeah, it's in Gemini because it was in Taurus for a couple of days.
All right, and Annette. So people have asked. Meatball is back here. Folks, if you don't know Bubba,
I thought his name is his name Bubba Meatball?
Yeah, I just call him Meatball sometimes, but he's
Bubba
feisty.
the Meatball.
This is Bubs.
Bubba.
He knows there's a carrot on the table for him.
I can't believe he eats carrots. Well, actually, where I live, the dog eats carrots too. Big dogs eat carrots.
You want that, Bubs?
Of course he does. Why are you teasing him? Be nice.
Oh, he bit that off. Here's the other half. All right, so we'll let him do that for a little bit.
Is Meredith okay? You said she was sick.
She's sick. Yeah, she's been sick for a couple of days.
You want to
Usually,
put a new,
she doesn't get that sick. I'm the one that gets sick in the house, but
you want to put up a new background just to change it up since it's almost 8?
yeah, I kind of know if people wanted to look at that dude's back, Bubs. That is. What kind of background did you want?
Leaves. Thanks.
I'd have to go hunting for that.
Hey, if I gave you, like, if I send you a picture sometime, you could put that as your background, right?
Yeah, of course.
I do it now, but I'm on my phone.
I did this for a little bit last night.
I didn't like that one at all.
Why not?
I don't know. That one I don't like it.
Sunlight streaming in is beautiful.
It's just ugly.
What?
It's ugly.
Oh my goodness.
You take a poll.
Is that ugly, folks?
Pretty ugly.
I mean, we can always bring Spot back. I got a good one for everybody. We'll bring this one in here for a little while. Backgrounds.
All right, let's
How about you want a question in the meantime? Here, I have a good one for
I
you.
haven't pulled the card yet. It's just about 8 o'clock.
You're pulling a card?
Yeah, I want to show you my new cards. But I need a question. Aw, is that little Corey?
Yeah, we're going back to this guy tonight.
That's a little weird because it looks so real and it looks like you're in if you don't have a kid, but it looks like you're in, or maybe it's your nephew or something.
I remember the first time I posted that, so many people were.
Your son is so cute, Corey. What's his name?
Yeah, it was funny. Or they thought it was me when I was a kid, but I mean, there was sparkling going on in the background like that.
We should probably pick it up a little. I like the stars.
Yeah. All right. So here's a question, Annette, and I would like to know this as well. Libra Lady asks, some doctors state it would be unhealthy to have permanent daylight savings time. Is that true? Now, I hate daylight savings.
It's unhealthy to change it.
This is horrible. It has been pitch black since 4:30 today. I can't stand it.
Libra Lady might have her little statistics mixed up because the science of it is it messes with the body's circadian rhythm to change to add an hour. Yeah, it's weird. and you know, people, I actually heard once, there was a study done that there were more heart attacks. There were more like heart attacks when the time changed. I mean, we don't realize how sensitive our bodies are to the light, but that's why, you know, speaking of sleep, right? The melatonin level goes up when the sun goes down. Our bodies are so smart, so genius. So to have an extra hour, I mean, it takes me at least a week to adjust to that. And it does, it gets dark really early. The other night I was doing something, I was doing a live, and I started like 6:30, I think it was. And then it got to be like 8 o'clock, just like now. And I could have sworn it was like 10 p.m. And it was only 8. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand the reason to do that. And I mean, it just goes to show you, like we were just talking about Christmas, you know, some things we just do just like we're under hypnosis, and we must change the time. We must buy gifts. And then when you really look at it, it's like, why are we doing this? So strange.
Good, Dion?
I feel like we've only answered like 3 questions.
Of course we have. We're an hour and a half in. It's not, it hasn't been a lot of
Do
questions.
you
It's been,
still have people? Are there still people?
yeah, we're pushing 400.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. All right, Annette, how about this one? Will all the elected GOP officials be sworn in January 2023, or will some be indicted and or forced to withdraw or resign before their term starts?
That's a good question. I do think some will be indicted. I definitely see some being indicted. I see 3 or 4 especially. Let's see. I don't know if that's a question for the cards, but I'm going to just look at the cards to read the general energy of that. I really do feel Trump being weakened, and the whole MAGA thing, the insurrection, come into light in terms of who's in trouble. Mark Meadows doesn't hold public office right now, but Mark Meadows is in a load of trouble, as is Lindsey Graham. And I actually feel like their time has run out in terms of the ones that were really involved in some real criminal activity, including the insurrection, witness tampering, voter suppression, voter fraud, that kind of thing. They will be called to task for, I'm thinking Lindsey Graham, and I'm thinking Mark Meadows right off the bat. Kevin McCarthy, there's something going on there with him too. Mark Navarro, no, Peter Navarro, his name is. Yeah, there's a few. I definitely get that there's a few. I'm getting like 3 or 4 definitely. I mean, the DOJ cannot mess around. Like as far as Trump goes, he shared top secret military information with our enemies. You can't just let that go, right? So I do see that 7 of Swords. This is the card of the thief. That's what they'll be held accountable for, is stealing. The 5 of Wands is, it's going to be a very challenging time. Like these cards, it might be a little confusing for you because you were getting used to the other ones, but
right. So honestly, because there's so much going on, there's so much color stuff, I can't see exactly what is happening there. It's hard for me.
Okay, I'll switch. I won't use these the whole time, but I'll explain. The 7 of Swords is the card of the thief. And that's what they're going to be held accountable for. And it's going to be very, very challenging, not only for them, but for our country. The Wheel of Fortune is a change in their fortune. Yeah, that's an indicator of change. Yeah, these cards are way different. They're really fun though. I will switch them out. So I'm using something more familiar because we want Corey to understand what's going on.
Which is true. I need all the help I can get.
But I think my cards are across the room. My other ones. I
Ready
move
for-
things all day.
You want to grab a deck? Or you want another question? Oh,
Give me a
Warren's asking you, what's the name of that deck that you were just holding up?
The Tarot of the Divine.
Tarot of the Divine.
Inspired by deities, folklore, and fairy tales from around the world. Made by Yoshi, Y-O-S-H-I, Yoshitani, Y-O-S-H-I-T-A-N-I.
There you go. Yoshitani.
Marshalls.
Cool.
Who knew?
Yeah.
I got a bunch of stuff from the store that was closing, by the way.
Oh, that, yeah, you were telling me. Sacred Circle.
Yeah.
And I was
Really?
I was out at Sea Meadow Gifts and Gardens a few days ago.
I've never been in there.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's great in there. She has stuff too. Tower, etc.
Oh, good to know. All right, let me grab the cards that you like. They're just right here, so you can keep talking.
Okay. So folks, if you're just tuning in, I'm Corey. She's Annette. She's the psychic. I'm the sidekick. We are at the top of the hour. It's now 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we thank you all for your patience. We tend to go on. We like our banter. We like going back and forth with people in the chat. That's what we do here. But if you're new, give us a little boop or a thumbs up. And we try to do this every Wednesday evening for you. Normally, Annette and I are side by side, but now that it's dark at 4:30 and we can't be outdoors doing our thing, we're back in our respective offices. So anyway, there is that.
We're not normal. There's no normalcy here.
This is true.
I've never been accused of that. Have you?
Nope, afraid not.
I've never been accused. Even when I was young, my siblings would be like, Annette, you're so weird. My parents would be like, no, you're so deep. They always would say that.
Yeah, we do. We chat about you when I'm just doing my solo sessions on this channel.
So deep.
Yeah, or weird. So, all right. You ready for?
I pop in sometime and hear what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
I should.
You should.
I'll be like a bot.
Yeah, have a burner account. Yeah, just come in as a different name.
I don't think you would know.
Probably. Annette, we have a question from Yoon.
Hi, you.
Hi, Yoon. And Yoon asks, are we supposed to receive some kind of messages when we wake up in the middle of the night, like between 3 or 4 a.m.? So when you wake up suddenly, are you receiving a message? Are you downloading something? What's going on there?
That's a very potent time. 3:15. That is a time that the spirit activity is the highest. And supposed to. Is that the way she put it? You're not supposed to do anything. It's like if you don't get up at 3:15 and get the message, nothing bad's gonna happen. Because your guides will get a message to you somehow. But that is, I know Dr. Wayne Dyer used to talk a lot about, he would feel an inner prompting to get up at that hour, 3:13 or something. And that's when he would write. So that's a really good time. I don't like to do that. I don't like to disrupt my sleep. I don't sleep much anyway, so it's bad to disrupt my sleep. So I think that if you are getting enough sleep, like if you go to bed early, that it's probably a pretty good practice. And Stuart Wilde, who is maybe one of the first authors on metaphysics that I ever read, and he's really a hero to me. He wrote a book called The Force, but he did say in the book The Force, really old book, that if you wake up in the wee hours of the morning before the rest of the world has woken up, the rest of, wherever you live, before others have really woken up, that's when the force is most powerful. Because you can tune in, it's unobstructed. So yeah, if you get enough sleep, like, I was telling you about Eric who does lucid dreaming stuff. I like that background.
Mm-hmm.
It's very calming. He would have himself wake up in the night. So he
boy, our wrenches are going to work.
Bots or just rude people?
There we go. Who got them? Justin's mom.
It's like a fly, you know?
That was a body. Yeah, Justin's mom with the heavy hit.
Zzz,
Here's
black.
Justin's mom.
I think they get some kind of pleasure out of deleting the bots.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too.
Really? What was it?
That was XXX69 online.
Oh, really? That's a new one, I think.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Okay. Where are we at?
We are at, how about this one from Giselle222? She's always with us. Hi, Giselle. And she asked, Annette, will Nancy Pelosi retire in 2023?
Well, you know what? If I were Nancy, I would retire just because of all the stress, but I actually don't think she should. I don't, I feel like it's kind of like, it's terrorism. If you show the terrorists that you're afraid, then that gives them the power. If Nancy Pelosi decides to step down, it won't be, I don't get that it will be because she feels like she has to in order to save her family from being murdered. I don't get that. What happened to Paul Pelosi? I mean, it's absolutely despicable. And this is what I want to see an end to. Like, I guess Trump was like calling her terrible names. And when you really think about it, I cannot believe people in this country have stooped that low. And I know we all are in agreement about that, obviously, that they would attack her the way that they have attacked her. What did she ever do? It's the most awful display of just out and out, like, just like racism. It's like, just because you don't like her, she deserves that. So I didn't watch the whole interview with her on CNN, but it was quite emotional. My God, your husband of 60 something years gets bashed over the head with a hammer. And I mean, and I, just reading a little bit about Paul Pelosi, he's like, I saw something that he was, he liked to sing and act in the community musicals or something like that. It's like, it's not like he was a vicious, mean, horrible person. Nobody deserves that. But I'm just saying he couldn't hurt any. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So I'll pull some cards about it.
Okay.
I just don't think that she would resign just because of the incident, as horrifying as it was. Because that is, when you show a terrorist that you're afraid, and I'm talking about like a terrorist as in the terrorists, the domestic, white supremacist terrorists, domestic terrorists that are out there. That's the thing that you don't do, because then they feel like they do have power, and then they can just keep wielding their fake power. It wouldn't be for that.
Ready for another?
What?
Let's get him close to the camera.
I didn't even hold him up yet.
Well, I know, but when you do.
Don't worry. I'm getting there. The judgment card is saying that she's looking at, I mean, my goodness, she's 80. He's 82. I think she might be the same age. She's looking at, I'm at the end of my life. She's in the twilight hours of her life. And so the judgment card is like, she's just thinking about that, how she wants to spend the rest of her life. But her husband, Paul, I just feel like he will support her no matter what she decides. I don't see her stepping down. I don't see her stepping down. I mean, I don't mean she's going to be there till the day she dies and just drop dead right there. But this is not. I don't pick that up. I'll ask the pendulum too. And the guides just said she'll stay as long as she's needed. Just like Joe Biden, I know that Joe Biden stepped into the presidential race after Charlottesville. And I know that Nancy Pelosi truly feels like she wants to serve her country. And Joe Biden could not believe the racism, you know, the horribleness of Charlottesville, and there was a fatality, and just how hateful and how awful and how KKK and just anti-Semitism, all that bad stuff. So he stepped up to run for president because he knew that he could do something. He knew that he was capable of doing something to serve this country. And I think we've kind of lost sight of that human beings will do something for the public good for the sake of doing the right thing. And that's what that came from. And Nancy Pelosi comes from that place too. So everybody can say everything that they want about her. I'm just talking about what motivated them. And she has so much experience, as does Joe Biden, and they have really served this country well. All this hate and cruelty, that's from a different planet evil. So is she going to step down? I don't get that she's going to step down. Not now because of this. Nancy Pelosi's not going to step down at this time because of this. It won't be because of this. I mean, and really the truth is, now that this has happened, the security will be tight around the entire family. What did I see today with somebody? Yeah, some of the heinous things that are being said, I can't even repeat them. He's an 82-year-old man, and some of the theories out there are like he was having an affair with this. That's just not what you're thinking about, for one thing.
No, unless he's in a silk robe like Hef.
It's just like, come on. And I wonder, how long he kept going. It's just like, it's so outrageous, off the charts. What WTF, like that. Next question.
Why am I getting breaking news that Warnock is heading to a runoff?
I just told you that.
Damn crap. All right, ready for another question?
You missed that. I told you that earlier.
I got a text from a random number. I'm getting these like multiple times a day, every day.
Oh, so that's the second time you heard it, because it's going to be December 6th.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the date I started my church.
Was it really?
December 6th, 2020.
Annette, Carol Daly asks, was the election messed with at all?
Yeah.
Enough to affect the results? Is that your belief?
Yeah. She just jump on, because I went over that at length. You might have. Yes. Yeah. Remember, I was like, Texas, Florida, absolutely. Texas, absolutely. Georgia and Ohio. Will they find out is the question, really, to be asking. Will it be found out? Plus, Russia, was doing a few little tricks. Let's pull some cards.
Here we go.
Yeah, it was messed with. JD Vance did not win in Ohio. He didn't. I know Ohio's red, but I don't get that he won. JD Vance, whenever I look at him, I feel like he's just like, oh, I hope they don't find out. Maybe they know. I hope they don't find out. This is the vibe that I get from JD Vance. I'll just keep saying this, and hopefully they won't find out. I mean, we can't complain, because in other countries, it's like a gazillion times worse. Like, and that when somebody was asking how they can de-stress, really get it in perspective. Get it in perspective. Look at what the Ukrainians are going through. Get it in perspective. And being grateful and counting your blessings is one really good way to de-stress. I feel like when we're really stressing out, we're really taking some things for granted, When we do that, it's like, You're all stressed out. Like everyone's all stressed out about the midterms. At least we have midterms. I understand the stressing out because of all the cheating, and we don't want to be, you know, in fascism. But we're still better off than so many other countries. Okay, the justice card is here.
Back again.
Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be looked into. I don't know if anyone will be arrested or cited, but you see, now this thing, this lying about elections, this is good. The good thing is that this is going to be addressed. And now that the midterms are pretty much passed, we can take a strong look at what we need to do to get this country on the right track. And one of the things is to stop making it just perfectly fine to lie. And part of that is that there will be some investigations into some of these vote counts to see if they truly did favor the Republican. The Four of Pentacles, this usually indicates like stalled negotiations. So
That dude in a lab coat.
Yeah, it's like, you know, they're talking about things. Well, actually, the Four of Swords is more like that. But it's like justice moving very slowly. That's what that is. So I feel like in the long run, we'll find out that there was some nefarious stuff going on. Ron DeSantis did not win. Tell me, he didn't. And by the way, this is becoming a pattern. Whenever I'm live, it seems like there's some big storm coming, and Florida is about to get reamed again. And I did say, because in one of our shows, someone asked how Florida is going to do this hurricane season, and I was just dumbfounded by how bad it looked. And then somebody asked after Ian, is there going to be another hurricane, another storm? And I said, yeah, there'll be a smaller one coming. And I see massive flooding. It's so sad what's happening in Florida. And the other thing about Florida is that they're in a media blackout. Oh my gosh, I have these cards in my hand. Sometimes I just look like the guys are like, look at those cards that you're holding while you're, I don't even know how these cards got in my hand. This is Florida right now. Sadness, destruction, just Satan. You do know we call him just Satan.
I've heard.
One of the sites on YouTube started that, I think. And
just look at this for a little bit, Annette. Just focus on this.
Peace, world peace. These cards are horrible. That's, you know, and the guys are just saying the Republicans do it to themselves. They've done this to themselves. So there's not a lot of good coming their way. I went off on a different trail there.
That's what you're not missing much. Very quiet in the chat tonight.
Is it?
No, don't
Oh,
don't go back and read this one tonight.
I was shocked that you said that.
No, we got our wrenches are the three of wrenches are going nuts. That might be Christian's next tarot card to draw.
Oh, hang on, because I want to show you guys this tin, the tin for the tea, because there really is something in it. I can tell.
We can tell. You're floating over there.
I'm floating. It's very relaxing. So I got this at a store in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, called Deadwicks. I've told you about that before.
Now, are you snorting out of the bag or just drinking it?
No, I'm drinking tea. There's 2 tea bags. It has high CBD hemp flowers and leaves. Boy. It says high CBD.
You don't have to tell us, I don't think.
It was legal. It's called Boom.
Legal in
B-O-
which countries?
It's called Boom. BOOM. Like lower the boom.
Hmm.
U.S. grown CBD hemp extract. 22 milligrams CBD special blend. Tea elixir from the hemp division. I don't know. Check it out. Look it up, you guys. It's called Boom. But I'm just showing it to you because somebody was asking how to relax. And I'm like, well, this is pretty relaxing. Get CBD tea. I'm confused as to whether CBD, maybe you know, whether CBD has THC.
There you go, folks. There's a question for the crowd.
Probably depends. Yeah. It's a science. I mean, it's like to go to the pot store and ask them. I bet they'd know. They should have classes.
Yeah, we must have a botanist here in the live chat somewhere. Can help us out
They
with
should
that.
have classes at the pot store.
They do.
They do?
No, they do have a physician on hand though at the big one in town.
Oh, I'll go
Literally
ask.
on hand. Like you can walk in and chat with her or him.
Oh, that's my trivia question because it really is relaxing. I'm just like, oh, I feel like I had a cocktail. Carry on.
You always have to keep an eye on you halfway
I
through
have
these
four
shows.
decks. I have 4 decks in front of me.
Is that enough, do you think?
I'm just going to use my pendulum and see which one wants to talk.
Yeah, surround yourself with 20 decks and use the pendulum.
I have 4 decks in front of me.
All
Oh,
right,
this
Annette?
one. Oh, this one wants to be used. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, so we're gonna use these.
All right.
Ooh, I just picked the Wheel of Fortune. What do you got?
Crafty Lady 1717 asks, when will churches who support candidates lose their tax exempt status? That's a question.
Why is she saying when? Isn't that an if question? Like,
I don't know. I mean, are any churches publicly supporting candidates? We know corporations have been able to do that.
I was thinking of having non-tax status. I don't know anything about that, dude.
I don't know. I don't know if there's been a mega church or any church that's publicly supported a particular candidate. I'm sure it's happened, but
well, yeah. Oh, yeah. You God, yes. Yeah, like Trump. They literally are Pentecostal churches of some kind, one kind or another, that they worship Trump. They think that he's sent from God. And some members of Congress were calling him the Orange Jesus. They think Jesus was carrying guns. It doesn't make any sense. So, who asked that question? Crafty Lady?
Crafty Lady. Yep. She's always around.
Well, she's saying when, so she must think that it's going to stop.
Yes. And
I
people
don't
are
think-
saying that the churches have endorsed candidates.
Yeah, they have endorsed candidates, but I don't know. I don't see how they could make a law against that because then seems like they can't make a law against that in a democracy. If a church wants to see, that's why I thought it was a tax question.
Mhm.
I was connecting it to like tax exempt status. That's kind of too multifaceted.
When will churches who support candidates lose their tax exempt status?
Oh, lose their tax exempt status, you said.
Yes.
Getting a little hazy.
This is good.
I thought I heard you say tax something in there.
We're about to go off the rails like the live chat. It's happening very shortly.
No, well, see, I don't see churches losing their tax exempt status. I feel like money is too sort of entrenched in churches. I mean, look at look at even the Catholic Church, not that they're endorsing candidates, but how much money for how many years is just entrenched in the whole system. I mean, speaking of church and politics, the Vatican for how many years pretty much controlled the people, right? The Catholic Church was a political force.
Huge here in our neck
Yeah,
of the woods. We know
for
that.
many, many years. So I don't see that getting separated out. I mean, if they lose anything, I mean, I don't see that. I guess the answer is no.
There you have it.
I just don't see how that could happen.
Well, let's shift gears slightly and bring in our audience tonight for this question from Earth Angel 81, who's always with us too. When people sneeze, someone says, "Bless you." Where did that start?
Oh, that started because back in, like medieval times, people thought that when you sneeze, your heart stops for a second. Did you know that? It's true.
Nope.
And so when somebody sneezes, it's kind of like bless you, so you don't die. Plus, I think that some societies believed that when you sneeze, like you lose part of your life force and something could take over. But I think it's more that your heart stops for a second when you sneeze. So bless you. I hope you don't die. You can Google that.
Yeah, I know, but I thought we might get some fun answers in here at some point.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if somebody really want to know the origin of that, yeah, Google. I don't know what we did.
Actually, I do think the origin has been traced for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and back in those days, like in the medieval times, they didn't have like penicillin, they didn't have like drugs to make you get better. So bless you, hope you don't die.
Annette, how about this question? People are asking if the Powerball drawing was rigged. Did you see that?
I know
it got
nothing.
delayed. It got delayed for some time.
Where was it?
California. The winner was in California. I think the drawing was in California too, right? Like, I believe.
Was it rigged?
Yeah, that's what they're asking.
I'm not picking that up. I'm not. I'm getting no. I don't even understand how they would rig it. Do you? Can you give me your thoughts on that?
Well, one theory was they were delaying the drawing, and instead they were going to have the drawing privately, and then announce winning numbers and not show the balls.
They can't do that.
Right.
Is that what they did?
No, I don't think that's what they did. I think it ended up being a live drawing. But people freak out as soon as they hear there's news of the delay, right? Then I'm sure people freaked out like, oh, wait, something nefarious has to be going on.
Well, but if the drawing was live, I know nothing about the lottery and Powerball. I don't do any of that stuff.
So from what I understood, because it's a national lottery, all the states that are participating in this lottery have to have all the ticket sales accounted for. Just have basically they have to have their shit together. One state didn't. And so because they had to wait for that state, things got delayed. I can't remember. It might have been a full day, but that's what happened. And then the drawing happened and there was one winner.
Don't the numbers, isn't it a live thing when they're pulling the numbers?
Yeah. I didn't see the drawing, but yeah, that's what they have to be. They have to be.
Right. I don't know. Before you explained all that, I just got no.
Yeah. Good. You know what bugs me though? They have these massive lotteries. The prize is like $2 billion. They got to find a way where instead of having one $2 billion winner, you have dozens and dozens of $1 million winners. And then just get people out there like actually, because 1 million is not going to set you up for life, but they can actually get some more of that money will feel like it goes back and it's spread out and it's diversified in the communities.
Pretty good party with $1 million. You have like,
Wouldn't that be great? If you're just like, oh, hey, there's going to be 200, 400, 2,000 millionaires named tonight. That would get the people whipped up instead of one person winning.
isn't that on the state level that happens, right?
Well, no, because it's based on the numbers you select. It'd have to be a different sort of setup.
Like the lottery, if you're a lotto player, isn't it like there's a state lottery?
Yes. There's state, then there's national lottery.
Well, the state one's obviously going to be smaller, right?
Yeah.
Was there always, since the history of the lottery, a national one?
No, I don't remember when. It took Massachusetts a while before they participated in the national lotteries, like Powerball. But theoretically, those number drawings could go on forever and without a winner. Theoretically. Unlikely, but
So that's such a universe that I don't even touch. You know
Yeah.
why? I think that I really have an aversion to the whole concept of the lottery that stems from a joke question that people ask. If I introduce myself, they ask what I do, and I say I'm a psychic. Guess what they ask me?
Mm.
What do you think they ask me? If they find out I'm a psychic, what's the first thing they ask me? Besides the stupid joke, so what am I thinking right now? I hate that
it's
one.
always, so yeah, what are the winning numbers?
Yeah.
Who's gonna win this? Yeah.
And then I go, see, I wouldn't want to be here. Nice to meet you. Going over here. Because it's just, like, nothing against you. If you play the lottery, if it's your thing, it's your thing. It's no big deal. But I don't like the energy of it.
I guess I don't play, but I think people just do it for fun. But people ask, I had this conversation with friends the other night. I wouldn't want to win because I'm related to half the island now. Then you'd have so many people coming at you from so many angles. You couldn't live where you currently live. Like you'd have to go away and not come back.
You wouldn't have to tell anybody.
Yeah. Well, it'd be hard to hide.
You know what? I get really tired of hearing, oh, well, when I win the lotto. So cliche.
Yeah.
And when somebody says that, it indicates to me that, everybody views things differently, but it says to me, it suggests that the person doesn't feel like they're empowered enough to magnetize money just from their own ability. Like you don't like that. In other words, let me clarify. If that's the only way that somebody has in their mind that they're ever going to be financially doing pretty good, then that's a very limited way of thinking. That leaves out so many other ways that prosperity can happen. And it puts all the focus on money. I'm over here touting my non-materialism tonight. It's not about the money, people. All those people that are, how happy do you think Donald Trump is right now? And he's always been all about how rich he is. Even when he was president, I'm so rich, he could barely stand it. Yeah, but you never smile, Donald. He doesn't know how. He can't even get, he can't even make a self-deprecating joke because he just takes himself too seriously. So money has not made too many people happier than they already were. It's not the cure. Next question.
The next question is, and have you seen this at Northeastern and the University of Cambridge? They manufactured in a lab a material that does not exist naturally on Earth. I think it was only found in meteorites or something. Did you know about this?
Why did they do that?
I don't know. They're asking how it will be used. And folks, have you heard about this? A material that does not exist. It's the first time they've created a material that does not exist naturally on Earth.
For what purpose?
I don't know. I don't know.
So
but now, usually when there are space missions, those discoveries lead to hundreds and thousands of things that we end up using in everyday life, like Velcro or Teflon or things like that. Those things usually start as experiments from space, or they find materials or behaviors out there that lead scientists to create new things.
It must be the tea. I'm like, what are you
Are
talking?
you zonked right now?
No, I'm trying to figure out how they found Velcro.
Is your mind blown?
I'm trying to figure out how they found Velcro.
No, they find things that lead to these inventions
Okay,
and
I
discoveries and experiments. And
thought they went to Mars and found Velcro. I don't know.
they didn't find like a Velcro patch.
I don't see how space exploration led to the invention of Velcro.
Well, it could be they tried like a material had to be created, right? And I'm sure they could be testing that in zero gravity or in space.
So they made it out of material that already existed.
Here, now they've actually created something that didn't exist before. We manufactured in a lab a material that just did not exist naturally on Earth.
This question sounds like this to me. They made something out of nothing. What do you think of that?
Well, something came from something. Does anyone have the skinny on that?
They made something that never existed before. I'm like, what? So, and I don't understand that. Because you can make something that never existed before, right? It's called creativity.
True, but you're using things that exist here, right?
This might be way too far down the rabbit hole for me.
Yeah, we're not gonna, this is horrible.
What was the question?
Northeastern and University of Cambridge announced they manufactured in a lab a material that does not exist naturally on Earth. It's only been found in meteorites. How will it be used?
I think we should call them up.
All right, someone want to call Cambridge? What time is it over in? That's probably
Cambridge,
1:30?
Massachusetts.
I'm assuming that would be in the UK, University of Cambridge. I'm assuming. I could be wrong.
Somebody check that.
Yeah, anyone on that?
I thought you were talking about Cambridge, Massachusetts, where Harvard is.
No, there is Northeastern, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a Northeastern here in the Northeast.
Yeah, it's in Boston.
I'll have to look that up.
All right, but that I did see that as well, for what it's worth.
That might be the most nebulous question you've ever come up with.
That's usually, that's usually like a Wilk Zook kind of question, you know?
Where is he?
Is it all an illusion? That's my favorite Wilk question.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Annette, how about this one from CCAT, our friend out in Hawaii? Will 45 upstage his daughter's wedding on Saturday? Is that really happening?
I think so. Yeah.
Man.
Yes. Should I pull cards about that? Here's the thing. I mean, people have been asking me if he's going to announce that he's running for president at Tiffany's wedding. I feel like the hurricane is going to hit Mar-a-Lago and it's going to sustain some damage. The storm's coming in on Thursday. Oh, that's tomorrow. Yeah, because people were asking about that last night, and I felt like the storm would affect the wedding plans. But the storm should be over by Saturday, right?
There, yes.
In some way, I picked up that the storm would affect the wedding plans. And yeah, something's going to be up with Trump. I don't feel a lot of warm fuzzies, but that doesn't take a psychic to figure that out with Tiffany. I feel like she's really in love with the person she's about to marry, so that's a good thing.
Be a nice few
some
years.
some people just get married and they're not really sure, but which I don't understand that, but I do feel like I think he's off the rails anyway. I think every day he gets more and more off the rails because he's never been in a position where he's been cornered the way that he is now. He's always been able to slither out. So he feels the walls closing in a way that they never have before. And so his knee-jerk response is panic. And when he goes into panic mode, he starts to act very erratic. So I do see him acting very erratic at the wedding. And I just see him, it's like, you know, when a bull, you see like a bull starts breathing really heavy and like, you know, like I just see him in a rage, like an uncontrollable rage. Yeah, and it's because of what he's facing. He's facing this hardship. And then the storm coming in, I don't know, I do see some damage. And then last night I was kind of reading about this and I wondered if it was insured, if Mar-a-Lago has enough insurance. I don't know how we can find that out. I know a lot of insurance companies, like home insurance companies, people are having a hard time insuring their homes in Florida, understandably so. So it might not have enough insurance. Anyway, so the Princess of Pentacles, I feel like there was some kind of an agreement with Tiffany, like that he wanted her to have the wedding there.
That's my favorite card, Annette. Not my favorite deck, but my favorite card, right? Oh no, that's one of them. Oh yeah, we're in there.
Oh yeah, I think that's the one that you like that looks like Wonder Woman. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's the one. We always get confused which one it is.
There's another one. I gotta look through.
What's interesting is I feel like there are people from other countries that have been invited to the wedding. That's always not a good thing. Like from Saudi Arabia. So I feel like Trump wanted to have her to have it there. So he could show up. I mean, think of it. What other opportunity is he going to have to just kind of show off Mar-a-Lago? There really wouldn't be much. So I feel like it was his idea. And that he's kind of using it to showcase himself. You know, you don't upstage the bride, but Donald Trump would upstage the bride. Let me ask, is he going to upstage his own daughter? Oh yeah. And then the next day or the day after, depending on what day the wedding is, that's when the hammer's coming down on him. So he's going to be very stressed out. And when he's stressed out, he gets even more erratic. I can't believe people want this man to be president. I mean, those MAGA people, it just boggles my brain. Is he going to be indicted next week? Yes. Did I say I was going to look at cards about that?
No, but you certainly can.
Well, what popped up was that something about that full moon lunar eclipse shifted the energy for him, where he can't really hide. And yeah, the Hierophant. This is a constitution. This is about the law and the constitution. And the Two of Wands. The DOJ has a very balanced case. There's no holes in it. You can't poke any holes in the case of the DOJ has against Trump. So something next week. And he will try to upstage his own daughter. I don't feel like he has Donald Trump is so shallow that he actually favors Ivanka over Tiffany because Ivanka to him is prettier. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's definitely some weird.
It's just gross.
Weird stuff, yeah.
He hung out with Epstein.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that.
Now, I will say this to folks, because the live chat's been hopping all night. I miss about a third of the live chat. So people have asked if I've caught in their questions or to scroll to get their questions. There's no way I can do that and keep track. So if you have asked questions, just copy and paste and drop them in there again, or just ask it again. So, because I don't mind taking some live ones for Annette tonight. Okay.
Better use it. It gets too complicated.
It's a lot. There's a lot going on in there. Hey, Annette, how about this one from Liza Field? What is a favorite Thanksgiving dish in Gloucester?
Well, I had salmon last year.
Yeah, that's right. You did. I remember that.
Not that we fish for salmon here, but we get pretty fresh fish here. In Gloucester, it would be fish. What do you eat?
We've always done the traditional. I think it's my mom's favorite meal, actually. But my sister was vegan. She's been a vegan forever, she and her family.
Right.
And so we've always had different things too. Like, wait,
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
I'm more of a veggie eater than a meat eater anyway.
That's cool.
So we always had just different, like, you wouldn't think of broccoli for Thanksgiving, but those like we would have 80 side dishes basically.
I would think of broccoli for Thanksgiving. I heard, remember last year I said I saw a turkey shortage?
Yes.
There was one last year, but I think it's worse this year.
It's expensive this year, turkeys.
Yeah, so I don't know why people, speaking of things that people get stuck on, right? You don't have to have turkey on Thanksgiving. Now, I have a prediction for you right now in the chat. Everyone's going to be telling you what they're having for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's going to start soon.
We don't even have to ask.
No. Are you a big Thanksgiving fan?
No, I don't even know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I am doing my church. I'm doing a church service.
Oh, I know what I wanted to say. So people started going nuts for like the Thanksgiving wraps. Like you can get those sandwiches or subs now where it's the turkey and the cranberry sauce and the stuffing all rolled up into a wrap or whatever. It was like, you can get that. You can do that any single day of the year.
Do you eat those?
Yeah, they're good. Actually, I had one today at the Magnolia Cafe. I said, what's your special day? He was like, here, have this. And it was
well, Sancho's is a pretty good cook, so I'm sure he knew how to do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
But it is, but it's not that I dislike Thanksgiving, but I always felt it was just so overrated. But also because most of my family I live near most of my family.
Right, so it's not a big deal. That's nice too.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's really what I'm thinking. But people swear like that's their favorite food of the year. It's like this isn't. You can go and get this stuff any day of the year.
Well, they're probably not really. Maybe they say it's the food, but it's not really. It's the football and the people and the drinking and the day off and
There's that, but normally the football games suck. Everyone's napping after the first round of food, and I think people have probably been brawling the last couple of years too.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All it takes is that one uncle just to say, here it comes.
Yeah, I don't have all that, but there's the high school football games, and that's a family kind of an event.
Yep, that's a big thing here too. I would say one thing, you can also list off your favorite pies, folks, or your desserts or whatever too.
Oh,
Regatta pie is a good one around here. If you do, not that we have it traditionally, but it's something local that we have here. So in the mix of the normal pies, like your pecans and apples and things like that, Regatta has been a good option for us locally, if you want a local twist to it.
Yeah, you can't have too much of that. It's very filling.
Yeah, it is delicious though.
I love me some pumpkin pie.
Do you really? Isn't it funny how it's pumpkin everything this time of year? But most of the items that are that say they're pumpkin are really just like nutmeg, cinnamon, and cloves. Like there's not actually pumpkin. It's just those things that make things taste.
The appeal of that is they're like the spices are warm. Like there are herbs that are more cooling, and there are spices that are more warming, and the spices and like I have pumpkin spice. There's a spice called pumpkin spice.
Mhm.
And they just give the body a feeling of warmth. That's why they're so appealing.
Mm.
It's not the pumpkin. I made pumpkin spice cookies and just today. They came out delicious. And they call for a lot of pumpkin spice, which is a mixture. But I really think it's more it's cooling. I mean, it's a warming as opposed to a cooling spice.
How about this, Annette? What do you bake the most?
What do I bake? I don't do a lot of baking.
No, I don't either, but I bake vegan zucchini bread the most.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. So I use applesauce instead of eggs or something, and I put also a pinch of cardamom in there too.
And how many people are talking about food in the chat right now?
Everybody.
Told you.
Yeah.
Told you. Well, I got up this morning. I was really pumped after last night, these past few days. The energy's been so high. And I got up this morning. I just kind of bounced up out of bed and I was like, I'm going to make some soup. So I made a big pot of vegetable soup. And then I was like, I'm going to make some pumpkin spice cookies. And so I made all these cookies. And I went for a walk and I did all this stuff.
That's good though. You had to get your chopping out of the way, then you had to go for your walk.
You know what? I got a brand new thermos see my brand new thermos. And that's why I had to make soup, because I had to test it out to see if it kept my soup hot.
And
it did. It was good. When I went to have it, it was steaming.
good. So thumbs up to the thermos and thumbs up to the
thermos invented in 1913.
You know what I think you should do in there? I think you should fill that to the brim with your CBD tea, and then go for a walk, and I'll pick you up in Indiana in a couple of weeks.
I don't have a microwave or anything, so I have to use the thermos.
Yeah.
Not my office.
We're pushing 9 o'clock, Annette. You tell me what you want to do tonight.
But the food, what are they posting?
Oh my God, what do you want? People want my recipe. They're talking chocolate meringue, pumpkin cookies, chocolate pie, Yorkshire pudding, mocha mousse pie, minced meat pie, pecan cherry, sweet potato.
I'm just looking for which recipes I need.
I know.
When I lived in Tennessee, people made the green bean casserole, which that was okay with the onions on it, like those fried onions that come in a can. But they made what was it that they made in the South? I'm trying to think of the sweet potato marshmallow casserole.
Oh, you would do the marshmallows? I make good sweet potatoes. I'm doing
Yeah,
that. Actually, we do Friendsgiving with a couple different groups of friends. So it's not Thanksgiving, but we do actually have one Saturday and have one a week from Sunday. And those are fun.
We're totally not doing any questions right now.
I don't think people enjoy this stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're digging it. I'm getting zucchini bread recipes here. So Connie B, wait. My secret ingredient for my zucchini banana pumpkin bread is a tablespoon of coffee.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah,
I like good.
I like espresso brownies.
That sounds good. You know what I did one time by accident? The Good Doctor's a big cocoa fan, and by accident I bought a sugar-free cocoa, which tastes horrible. But what I was doing over time is I would put some in with a pancake batter, and that was a good way to
Cocoa was not sweetened.
Yeah.
And she thought it was cocoa to make just to stir in your milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it tasted horrible.
Yeah, add sugar.
Which I'm sure she did. So, all right, folks, any questions for Dion, or I can go to what I took in last night while we have her here.
They're all talking right now. They're not thinking of questions.
I did kind of, they're talking, but they're all in there. We're not losing folks, so that's a good sign. I like that Thanksgiving one. I like the fun ones like that.
Yeah, you're making me hungry. All I had was soup.
Yeah, I know. I might have a little bit of chat. I have to do some work tonight.
You eat the Ganesh.
No. We have to figure out how I'm going to get that to you, as a matter of fact.
I'm right downtown.
Let's see.
I'm right downtown. The door's open, to Main Street.
Let's throw this out. Here's another weird one. I don't expect us to answer this, but we might learn something here. JM asks, Annette, will there ever be greater acceptance and support for neurodivergent folks in the near future? Now, I'm going to look up neurodivergent.
Yeah, please.
Folks, entertain yourselves in the chat, please.
Never heard that word.
Neurodivergent. Oh boy.
So the fact that nobody knows what it is, it makes me tend to feel like the answer is no.
Differing in mental or neurological function from what is considered typical or normal. Frequently used with reference to autistic spectrum disorders, not neurotypical. Oh, so is it just more acceptance for people on the autism spectrum? Is that how?
Well, what do you mean by acceptance? They're not accepted?
Will there ever be greater acceptance and support for neurodivergent folks in the near future? See, now I've worked and I've taught junior high school students, and some were on the spectrum for sure, and they were like geniuses in certain areas.
Autistic?
Yeah. Genius. I mean, I had one kid who this is back when we had the old website, so we would have the kids go out and film all these after school clubs within an hour, come back, edit the piece so it's nice. So with 2 or 3 interviews, like it's a lot of work, and get it up on our website within the hour. And this one kid was so good, didn't have to teach him anything, and he was using new programming, like knew everything, and he didn't even pick it up, he just had it within him already. It was just going out and nailing this stuff. That was impressive. So,
well, people that are autistic, sometimes they come in and their brains are different, and they carry with them a gift from another lifetime that just, it's almost like they didn't skip a beat before their soul incarnated.
now that's interesting.
It's just right there.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like they're unfiltered. It's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
But that question's kind of like, will there ever be? I mean, how I can speak to that is these next generations coming up are all accepting. They're all these generations coming up, and it's a different breed. It really is. They're a different breed, and so they don't really see race. They don't really see gender. They a lot of them are androgynous. And you notice that in our society, the old way, it's having a hard time dealing with this. That's why you have like Republicans get up there and go, and these pronouns, and we need to own the libs, and they go through all that. I know the pronoun thing can make people uncomfortable because they don't understand how to use the pronoun. You know what I mean? It's like we need a manual or something. And that's not ignorance. It's just like it's new. But the generations coming in, to them, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And I'm speaking in very general terms, but I've seen this. There's a lot of androgyny in these new generations. You know what I mean by that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and people that I can consider androgynous are like, for example, kind of like, this might be a bad example, but Steven Tyler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is very comfortable with his feminine side.
Yeah. Bowie.
David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, he was gay, but I think it was bisexual.
Mark Bolan. Yeah.
So there are a lot of creatives that you can think of it's kind of a component of being a creative on many fronts. So somebody that will not be conventional. Conventionality is not their thing. Like if you are thinking of a David Bowie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of Freddie Mercury, I have a T-shirt that has them when the whole band when they dressed like women.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
video and it was all controversial
Mhm.
because people weren't
Oh, I
ready
want to
for
break free. I want to break free is the video.
yeah. People weren't ready for that then, but people adapted to it. And what's happening is the new generations that are now like 17 to 25, that age group, they're kind of that way, and we need that openness. You know, we don't need labels anymore in order to move into this new sort of way, this new world we're sort of evolving into. We'll be past that.
But don't you find, Annette, with the way things are trending now, that people want to be, there is androgyny, but people want to be labeled.
Yeah, but that's not, I'm not talking, that generation is not like that.
I find that younger people can't wait to be labeled, whereas older people, we work to get away from being labeling or pigeonholed,
Depends on what you mean by labeling.
stereotyped. Yeah.
And it depends on what you mean by labeling. What I mean is, like, it doesn't, you know, it's not really of utmost importance that you behave like the conventional gender, you know, definition of this is what you are and this is the role that you play. It's going to be up for grabs, which is a good thing. So everybody can be whoever they want, and it opens a way for innovation and creativity and open-mindedness, and that's what we need going forward. If we don't have that, we're done. We're doomed. I mean, we're kind of doomed anyway, but if we don't have innovative, creative thinking and the willingness and even being compelled to be different, then we're doomed, because we need to be different.
Yeah. I forgot to mention last week, I drove by you while you were on one of your walks, and then I was on my way. I had a show at the Shilin Lu, which is a performance center in Rockport. It's a beautiful music venue.
I walked a different way that
Yeah.
day. Right, because I thought of you and I knew you were that. Sometimes I take the different route. I have two different.
Well, it's weird. I was driving with Heather, my co-host, and I didn't notice it was you. So, oh, there's Annette walking right there.
Yeah.
She lives out that way, so she must see you a lot.
Yeah.
But I did a show with, we had 3 musicians. Well, we had Rockport High School students play. There was like a string quartet and then a pianist and a singer, which was really nice. But we also had Sal Baglio, Alan Estes, and John Butcher. Now, John Butcher was one of the first artists on MTV. And I remember it was actually the first concert I ever went to. John Butcher opened for it way back when I was young. And he was the second Black person ever featured on MTV after Michael Jackson. Because MTV wasn't exactly opening towards Black artists back then.
Yes, it changed a lot.
Yeah, and he's a local guy, John. He's from Alaska, but he's been living here forever.
I haven't met him. I've met his girlfriend.
Oh, really? Yeah, John Butcher Access. If you everyone will look it up, John Butcher Access. They had hits back in the 80s. And then John he's part of the local music. I figured you would have crossed paths Annette in the local music scene at some point with him.
Yeah, but you know how it is. Like, yeah. I probably played open jam with him or something. I just didn't know his name.
Yeah, right.
Didn't know it was him.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, he's part of that whole crew. So there's that. All right, what you thinking, kid? Where you at, Dion?
I'm thinking that I need a question.
Geez, all right.
I'm not in front of the chat.
Yeah, it's mostly it's banter. It's a lot of banter. It's not.
Let's do a couple more. Let's go 15 more minutes.
Okay. Did you hear about the withdrawal? The Russia withdrew from a particular city or region in Ukraine. So people are always asking. They have questions about Ukraine. So you're feeling on the latest there. And for what it's worth, I am up to Svetlana again. I know it's been a while. She's been traveling, literally delivering goods, raising funds, and she's been traveling again. So I'm out to her. Yeah.
Do you still have a fund to donate to?
The last I heard, her link was still active, the Amazon link for goods. So we're way overdue to catch up with her.
The link in the description.
Yeah. I'll have to grab it again. I mean, it's been months.
What's the question?
Well, just people are asking for your feel on the latest with the conflict there. Are the
I
tides
feel-
turning at all? Do you feel like, Ukrainian resolve? Your thoughts?
I keep thinking, I mean, I know that Joe Biden is overseas at some kind of summit. I didn't really look at the details of that. Maybe Warren knows if he's still there. And Putin is supposed to be there, but that really confuses me because I feel like he's very sick. Can you look that up?
What do you want me to look up?
Joe Biden is going to some kind of a global leader meeting. I'm getting no on Putin being there.
Annette, ring the bell, please.
What's going on?
Our friend Christine Armstrong just dropped into the tip jar.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Christine. We're due for a drink soon.
Has she been here all night?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I haven't seen her in a long time.
Is this the 40 World Leaders Summit we're talking about?
World Leader Summit. Where is it?
I think it's gonna be in Washington, right?
No, I thought he was traveling for that.
Oh no, this is old. This is old news.
Is Warren in the chat?
Warren, G8 in Indonesia. G8
In
summit.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
folks.
I heard that Putin was expected to be there along with that horrible Saudi king.
Old guy is saying Putin will not go.
I got that he won't go. Yeah. Does old guy have any of the details on like why he won't go?
Yeah, any details, folks? We'll see. The chat is humming tonight, Annette.
I get that Putin is really, like I told you last week, I feel like he's disintegrating inside.
They're saying that just a G20 and Putin is not expected. G20.
See, I heard that he was supposed to be there, but that might have changed.
He might join virtually. Reuters is saying.
I don't know why
Who knows? Who knows? We can't.
I don't know why he would. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm getting the Four of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. So the energy around that is pretty stuck. Around it's like, should I end the war? Should I not end the war? Should I end the war? Should I not end the war? He's not thinking of it like that, but it's just, look at the Four of Cups. It's not working. It's the stupidest thing that ever done on the planet is what Putin has done to Ukraine. Stupid is not the only word, but it's one of the words. It doesn't make any sense that he's killed all those people and destroyed the total infrastructure of Ukraine, used up all this military money. Russia's in an absolute economic crisis. I don't know how they'll ever recover from this. And what does he gain? I keep getting the month of December. I think it's going to come to an end in the next few months. I do. I feel like NATO really has really made a mark on what's going on there. And let's just ask the pendulum, which is hard to predict time, but let me just see. Will the war, I keep getting the month of December. Will the war end in December? I get yes on December. Is Putin going to be on the earthly plane in December? It's not looking good for him.
Really?
Now, I feel like he's very, very ill. I'd be surprised if he streamed in. And what would be the point of that anyway? Really? When you think of it.
Fighting my dog here, Annette. Sorry.
I need a new chair for Christmas.
Oh, uh-oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't
Did
need
you get
anything.
that, folks?
I don't need anything for Christmas. I need the cushion to this chair to be cleaned up and puffed up. Because I don't have the cushion anymore. I just have a little, pillow, seat pillow.
Okay, so to follow, this was Vicky Nedwick's question. Is Russia going to attack the city of, I'm going to say Kherson after
Which,
his troops leave? So they're withdrawing, now will he attack it?
okay, because I thought they withdrew. Did
Yeah.
they totally withdraw?
Not yet.
Bubba, go away, we're busy.
Yeah, he wants
what-
one last, you know
Wait,
what?
what's the question again? I'm all distracted.
It's will Russia attack that city they just withdrew from?
No.
Kherson.
No, that would be silly. Like they already had to withdraw. Why would they go back? Aren't they humiliated enough? No, I don't feel like they will.
Okay.
Putin needs to cut his losses and go.
Yeah, folks, how do you pronounce that? It reads like Kherson, but
Kherson, probably.
Kherson. Isn't the second syllable?
Wow, this is so funny because I
Really?
got the same exact two cards. It's really, he's in a very stuck place. Like there's no place he can go. There's no place Putin can go from here. He's everything he needed to do or was able to do he's all used up. And the Princess of Wands, I always see the influence of some female on his decision to withdraw.
Whoa.
Oh, you want to see her again?
The fan. What are we talking? That's all right.
The Wonder Woman one. It was the Princess of Pentacles, I think. Okay, so let's do 2 more questions.
How about here's an easy one from Amy Hunter. Will Trump be president again?
Next.
Well, we have to assume, Annette, that he's going to announce his candidacy within a week or so, right? Or it's got to be imminent if he's in the game.
You know what? I'm not insulting the question. I just want to say, in the realm of possibilities in the universe, that's not a possibility. He looks terrible. He's not making any sense. All he's doing is raging and complaining about himself and about the election being stolen. 2 full years, practically. Yeah, exactly 2 years of day in and day out. The election was stolen, and an insurrection, and actually, I'm not saying anything bad about the person who asked the question. I just want to say that question in general feels like an insult to a person's intelligence. Does that make sense?
It can.
It feels like an assault on somebody's sensibilities. And I think that I'm speaking for the collective when I say that, because it's like, let me tell you this. Mary Trump was asked that question many months ago, Donald Trump's niece, to which she responded, the real question is, why would we allow that as a country? What would be so messed up? I'm saying this part. What would be so messed up about America, that America as a whole, as a collective, as a country, what would be so messed up about America that we would actually let that happen? So it's like an assault on our sensibilities and that question makes me crazy, which is why I shut off the news, because it's so preposterous. It's an insult to our intelligence as a nation. You want to know how I really feel?
We always know.
You always know. I don't hide it. I don't hide much. That's for sure.
No bail. Nope. Let's see. How about this one? I don't like that one. No, I don't like that one either. That's a personal question.
You don't like them?
No. A lot of them are repetitive.
What's your criteria?
Well, sometimes they just don't make sense.
I know.
It's typos, or they miss a word, and I just copy and paste verbatim. So it's hard. It's like, this doesn't make sense.
Did you print out pages?
Yeah. Well, because you're not here, I have it on the computer next to me. So
Okay.
yeah. So which is actually pretty easy.
If we get an unseasonably warm day, we'll have to go on a deck somewhere. So do they have a deck at the restaurant in Magnolia?
They have a platform, but not. I haven't seen seating out there, and their seating's inside now.
The Happy Humpback has a porch.
Yeah.
We get those unseasonably warm days. Like what day was it this week that was hot?
Yeah, we had a couple of days this week. It was beautiful out. Summer.
Yeah, I had air conditioner on. Was it Tuesday? It was Monday. I mean, in my car, because it was that hot. And then the next day, I had to pull out my winter coat. Changing weather much?
How about this one?
Go ahead.
Will people who worked with 45 and knew of his wrongdoings have any repercussions since they waited to publish tell-all books?
No. No, I mean, what kind of legal repercussions?
Right. Yeah, I don't know what kind of blowback they're talking about, whether
I
it's
don't
political or otherwise.
I don't think there's a law against not being a whistleblower. You know what I mean? You're not required by law to be a whistleblower. That's a personal choice based on your ethical, your code of ethics and your morals and doing the right thing. Right? I don't think there's a law that says you have to be a whistleblower. And it has to happen within a certain time period. Well, it sounds like getting boring questions, so I guess we're done.
Well, I'm going to the live chat. Will the John Lewis Voters Act pass in both houses in 2023? That's from Maria Velez.
I do think so. I do get a yes on that. I do. A lot of positive energy around that. By the way, it's the ancestors and the elders on the other side, the founding fathers. There's a lot of energy that's helped us through this little bump in the road, but this bump in the road, as we all come together, is going to catapult us into a new America in a good way. We have helpers on the other side. Don't forget. And I'm saying that because John Lewis is helping. But you know what? And at the same time, they tell me, I get guidance that says we're not going to get out of this easily. We have to prove ourselves. We have to work for the rewards. And I think that we have been rewarded because we didn't go into fascism. Now, it's not to say that the plans aren't made for us to be a fascist nation, because that's where the Republicans want us to go. I mean, so it's the threat is still there, but we definitely averted a major disaster. So that's 2 times, the insurrection and these midterms. So we can't blow it. And the guides aren't going to let us off easy. We have to do the work. But John Lewis is going to help that bill to pass if we get to work. And, I just want to say that Michael Cohen, who used to be Trump's lawyer, who ended up being, really an advocate for America, for the American people, really, he really knows Trump better than anyone. I know Elijah Cummings, before he passed, really kind of read Michael Cohen, the Riot Act, and he's the one that said, when you're dancing with the angels, the question will be asked, what did you do to help save democracy? And I really feel like Elijah Cummings is Michael Cohen's spirit guide. Because Michael Cohen that's why his podcast is called Mea Culpa. It's like, forgive me for, I'm making amends now. So we're not alone. Lincoln's with us. See?
It's right behind you. There he is. Roxanne asked, will Pelosi continue being Speaker of the House? And Annette answered earlier saying it sounds like she's going to be there for as long as she's needed.
She's
there,
not,
right?
she will not resign because of the attack, because you don't give in, you don't show fear to terrorists.
Blue Moon is asking if the Dems will keep the House.
Yeah, we're not going there. We're not doing that tonight.
Yeah.
Too many things in play.
Damon, will the government pass universal health care in the next term?
Yeah.
Yes.
The next term would be 2 years, right?
Yeah. So within
Yeah,
6 years?
I feel democracy getting stronger.
Mm.
The guys told me years ago that Trump happened because we needed to patch up the holes in our democracy, and we're being forced to. We're being forced to. It wasn't strong enough. It's way, way too many holes.
Old guy's asking, will there be a tsunami off the coast of Oregon this year?
I'm not picking that up.
It's a long way to go for a tsunami. Cold water.
What I'm picking up is Florida being very, very much challenged with the reality of uninhabitable, it's going to become uninhabitable in many parts of Florida. Because of the flooding. And this storm that's coming in, it's going to be massive flooding. So that's the state that's going to get hit. Really, really hit the worst. And Texas is going to get hit pretty badly too. I mean, within the next like year in hurricane season. Here's why I don't think Abbott's win was legit. Look at when the grid went down. He didn't do anything about it. Look at what happened in Uvalde. He didn't do anything about it. Right after that school shooting, Greg Abbott went to the NRA convention. I mean, there's just too many horrible things. Texas is going to have lots of weather disasters, and he's not going to do a thing. Ron DeSantis is not going to do a thing about all the damage and disaster in Florida. I'm telling you, he's got the news in a blackout. Have you seen anything about how devastated Florida is from Ian? At some point, it just dropped out of the news. At a certain point, it's like it never happened. So he's not going to help.
They're relying on tourism dollars too. And winter's coming.
All the ships had to take off and go to safe harbors because they can't be in Miami right now. He's not going to do a thing. Sounds like the questions are winding down, and we're going on 3 hours. So.
Oh no, there's a bunch of questions now, but hey, how about this one? PC, you have a read on Brittany Griner.
I think about her a lot. It's not easy. I have gotten in the past. It's not easy to tune in because she's in really dire conditions, unthinkable conditions. I feel like she's in massive trauma, and we'll pray for her. I did read in the past that it felt like January, that she'd be able to be released in January. This is several months ago, maybe in the summer. And at that point, it felt like way too far away, but that's just a couple of months away. I do get that she'll be released. And
she got moved to a labor camp, right?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I think she got moved to a labor camp very, very recently.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Yeah, it's really hard to look at. It's like just being held hostage and kidnapped and tortured. It's really bad. When the war ends, yeah, so I keep picking up December, January. Time is just so hard to predict. But I do get that she'll be released at some point, like a trade kind of a thing.
Okay.
Putin is so evil. Putin is going directly to the bowels of hell and never coming back. Maybe his soul will just disintegrate and no longer. I mean, it's really, gosh, it's horrible. We need to bring up the energy. Let's end on a positive note.
Yeah, have some tea.
Tell me relax.
Melanie Scott.
It has caffeine in it too, but it's totally ineffective.
I can't tell at all. So Melanie asked, generally speaking, will there be more snow this year? So I'm guessing that's just here stateside. That's my assumption.
Where?
She doesn't get specific. So Mel, if you want to get specific, let us know, please.
No, I mean, no, it doesn't get cold like it used to. It's when was the last time it really snowed here? 2015.
Well, that was nuts.
That was a freak thing. That
Yeah,
was like
brutal.
a fluky thing. And since then we've had pretty much barely any snow. There's a little storm here and there, but not like it used to be. Like around now, it would start snowing the end of this month, years ago, and we'd have snow on the ground until like the end of March. We had one big storm last year. We just get these freaks snows here and there.
Yeah.
No, we want a lot of snow.
Plus, we got all our precipitation, it feels like, this summer.
We didn't get it. No, we had a huge
I mean,
drought.
we had nothing. So we haven't, and we've been in this, we get in these spells and patterns where you're not going to get precipitation for a while, or you just get one system after another after another.
Well, the sun was always out. It was a beautiful, beautiful summer, but it never rained. And we were in a dangerous drought. And this weekend is going to make up for it, because now we're going to have massive amounts of rain from the hurricane.
And then last year we had it poured through the whole summer. It was weird. And this year we had nothing.
It's very erratic. It's very erratic. But the one thing for sure is it's not going to get colder. Yeah. So we're not a lot of snow.
Annette, will George Conway divorce Kellyanne? That's from Colleen Braun.
He was on Seth Meyers' late show last night. I think it was Seth Meyers. They remind me of college roommates. I don't think they'll get divorced. No, I think they're college roommates that don't agree on things. It's very juvenile.
Annette, we've gotten this question the last couple of weeks. Maybe Damon missed it, but he's asking again. Do you remember when you first heard your guides, and what did it sound like?
Yeah, we got that. That was last week's question.
Well, we've had this a few times now. So how about just the first time you heard from a guide? You always sort of knew things were different, but
the first time I heard from a guide.
You heard a guide, yep.
Gosh, that's too hard.
Yeah, right.
That's like, I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm not being flippant. I just don't know when the first time I heard.
No, I think that makes perfect sense.
My guides was.
Yeah.
When you're so used to that, when you're so used to something, it's like you don't really, I don't think generally remember when it started. It's been as long as it's been for me that I've been practicing. By the way, everybody can do what I can do. You just have to practice. And I believe that talent is, when you have a talent or a gift for something, it's something that you're drawn to naturally. We talked about that before. And if you're drawn to it naturally, you'll do it more. And then you have, you get a lot of practice. And what's that book that Malcolm Gladwell?
The Tipping Point?
The Outliers. Outliers. Yeah. Talked about at a certain point when you've reached, is it 10,000 hours of doing a certain thing, you have mastery.
Oh, you do something 10,000 times?
Yeah, so the mastery comes with how much you've practiced it. I told you I'm doing Duolingo. I'm learning, the app Duolingo. I'm learning French.
Are you really?
I'm getting really, really good at practicing.
We're approaching our 10,000th show.
I thought you were going to say you're our 10,000th viewer.
Yeah. Oh, no.
We're not. No, we're not. But I have practiced doing reading. I mean, I've done thousands of readings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot. I've logged a lot of hours doing what I do. So It's just if you're drawn to something, that's guidance. That means go do more of that. And it's and the guides will only direct you to do something that's good. So go do more of, don't go do it if it's bad. That's not your guides.
Yeah. Cool. Annette, we are now at the 3-hour mark.
I know. So we have to wind down, and it's just been easy for me because, I have my tea. And
you're soaring.
And we're just gabbing most of the time. We're not really going into this intensity.
Well, that's good. We needed that after yesterday, and honestly, most of this year has been it's just been intense.
Yeah, and that's true too. And that's something to speak to. Is we have been through a lot of tension. So today, hopefully for people, feels like a little bit of a decompress. That's why it's not a good idea to be watching the news if they're all hanging on the edge of their seats and freaking out. No, we earned, especially those of us that have worked so hard to get out the vote and save democracy, we earned a day off. We earned an easy day.
How about this question, Annette, from Core Smith? Annette, how do you pronounce Quebec?
Quebec.
Do you say Quebec?
Well, I do, but I know that Americans say Quebec.
Right.
But Quebec is the proper way. But you say things like when in Rome.
Yeah.
So people understand what you're talking about. Like, we don't go around saying Bista with Zugu.
No, but now I'm in the mood.
I know, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what I just said?
Yeah. Anyone know what that means? Bista with Zugu?
I'm within a Medigani. I have to say spaghetti with sauce.
Yeah. People are asking about a pendulum class, Annette. You have one next week?
Yeah, so we're probably to the segment of the program to do cards for the collective and to tell you about the classes. The pendulum class is November 19th. That's a Saturday, 1 to 3 Eastern time. I do my classes in a Zoom room. You can sign up for anything at psychicannettedion.com. We'll have to put it in the description. Yeah. I have plenty of openings for readings if anyone wants to book a reading. You want to book a reading. You do. Full of information. Oh. I also do spiritual life coaching.
I had a chat with you about something, Annette, that someone did try to book a reading with you last month. And I think it got lost in the shuffle during your transition to who is booking and who is booking now.
Well, just make sure that we make it known to people if they're local. I don't see people in person.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's known.
Yeah, so there's that. The pendulum class is the 19th. And I have the classes that I mentioned earlier, starting in January. Those will be on my website. And Church of Spirituality, a bunch of services are up on my website too, not just on my channel. And there's all sorts of new stuff coming up on my website. So do check it out, psychicannettedion.com. Should we do some community cards?
Yeah, and I'll let everybody know what's up with the bridge schedule. I'm not sure, like I said, we're finding out what's happening with bridge headquarters here. We think construction starting sooner than later, and then I'll be in my temporary digs for a while. But I'll let you know about upcoming shows soon. I know there are 3 imminent interviews happening. Whether they're live or not, I would doubt, because it's usually we conduct it during business hours, whereas Annette and I go into prime time into your screens. So we'll see how that plays out. Oh, and what do you know? Yoon has to go. She has something to do. So we're ending the show at Yoon o'clock, at Yoon 30, as a matter of fact.
I'm surprised people have stayed as long as they have. We love you guys. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks so much, everybody, tonight. We'll get to the community cards now, but again, what a crew.
So what a crew is right. And thanks, Warren, for the Knishes. Can't wait.
Yeah.
I did mention that some of these races are going to be very contentious. I can feel the fire coming out of Carrie Lake's eyes. So be ready for some disruption, and also be grateful that we got through Election Day. Let's acknowledge the good without any violence. Let's acknowledge the good, because
bloodless election. That's
I mean, I think it's really important for people to think about the bad things that could have happened that people were worried about, but they didn't happen. We got through it. We got past it. The vigilantes didn't, we were praying so hard. So this week, there's going to be a lot of, for some reason, I feel negativity being hyped. Yeah, this really looks like Trump stuff. Some of the country will be in a bad state. I mean, like the MAGA people and the Republicans, the people that watch Fox and everything, they're going to be in a bad state because this is a card that's come up before around Trump being indicted, but the lover card is the love for America prevails. So that's a collective reading for America. There are a lot of people with a lot of hurt feelings right now, and it has to do with the midterms. And they're, understand that a lot of people that have been under the cult hypnosis and believe in what Fox has been saying are having a rough time right now. Nobody wants to be told, I told you so. There are a lot of people that wanted a red wave, not understanding that it was a fascist red wave. Mm. So we have to all be gentle with one another. Be grateful and for what we have and count our blessings. But the lover card, that bodes well. It's like that actually dominates everything else. So it's not all peaches and cream, but life is an adventure.
True. And we should mention this as well. We want to thank all the veterans out there, those who have served and continue to serve. Veterans Day is coming up. We're just 2 days away from that. And I'm sure we have those who have served in the chat tonight too. So thank you for your service there. Annette and I, we're planning on next Wednesday, right, Annette?
We're always planning on Wednesday.
Yeah, I actually have a live show at the Open Door Food Pantry that morning. That should be a good one. And then Annette and I'll be back with you. And I think that's it. I thought I might have something else, but I'll keep everybody posted on everything. Oh, we have to thank Anna Lee and Justin's mom and Christian for holding the wrenches tonight. And we know they came to good use. So thanks again, as always, and to the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you who sat with us for the 3 hours tonight. We love you guys, and thanks for your eyes and ears.
When every single time we're like, we're gonna not go. I mean, I always say, oh, it's just gonna be shorter.
I know. And now we're gonna see how you. I think that tea helped tonight. That might have to become a staple of the show.
You think so? I have to go.
I think it was good for you, Annette.
To get some more.
Yeah.
And plus the big exhale from working to save democracy since January. It's like,
yeah.
A lot. We owe it to ourselves to have some CBD tea and or whatever you're into.
Cheers to that. Okay, Annette, thanks for your time again, as always. That was a fun show this evening. I enjoyed it.
Always is. Thank you, everybody.
All right, we'll be in touch. All right, folks. Adios for now. We'll see you on the other side. We might play the replay of this show this weekend. If you're looking to hang out for a couple hours, I'll let you guys know about that. But until next time, she is the psychic, Annette Dion. I am the sidekick, Corey from Bridge Cape Ann. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye, folks.